Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray,
Hello.
Sean Bell,
Hello.
and James Farley.
Hello.
Should we do it all again then? Should we start again? Should
Yeah,
we
go on, why
restart?
not?
Yeah.
Should we start again? 2025.
This is our ninth year.
Yeah, it's our ninth year. Yeah, nearly 10 years. 10 years of TCGS. We're getting there. That's too much, isn't it? That is too much. That. I can't believe this has been going longer than Joypod. Joypod was 8, I think.
And it's
I
better.
was just thinking, because sorry, podcast listeners. Before we started the show just now, we were talking about how long Dave and I have been podcasting. And we're not quite at 20 years yet. But actually, what hadn't occurred to me is that TCGS is more than half of my entire podcasting career. I'm doing the finger quotes.
That's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Sorry. As we enter this new year, we're reflecting on our lives and crying a little bit. What's up, James?
Also, with Joypod, you had breaks as well. Like you didn't put one out a week. Like it was.
Right,
you
mate,
had.
don't slag it off. It
Yeah,
worried you.
no, yeah, that's a good point, actually, James, yeah.
It was one of the problems that we identified with it. So
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we're like,
but
how can we improve that for the
You've tried
next
to keep
show?
that tradition on this show, haven't you, James? Just having
Yeah.
massive breaks here and there.
Just giving the old fans what they want.
yeah,
It's like, this is series 2.
I love that. James's voice was like, "Yeah, you got me on that one." Yeah, I walked into it. Should
just
we
saying a
start
summer break.
Thank you. I love the fact that in the WhatsApp group you did sort of lay the seeds for that. Hey, listen, I think we are going away over summer again.
Well, I had to
Just
say, didn't I? I got
I don't know when or for how long.
exactly because you don't know that stuff yet. It's got worked it out yet.
Just want to make you feel
we'd-
tense.
Yeah.
We'd like to say thank you to our Patreon producers for the start of the year, the start 2025 and beyond? Question mark. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights and Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Jonathan Edwards, Grey Dragon Claw, Ramalaptar, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Sean Richens, Lee Keybottom, Mock Turtle Soup, My Dog Skip, Dean, and 2 new Full Nels members. We have Sam Harrison and Haribo Cart. Haribo Cart, long-term listener of the show. Hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much for supporting us on patreon.com/TCGS as we do enter our 9th year of TCGS. And I just thanks so much for keeping it going. Like, I love, as I said, like, when we finished podcasting at the end of last year, I was like, I'm done with podcasting for a bit and I don't want to talk to these people anymore. And then that sort of that feeling lasted about a week, and I was like, but I've got all these opinions, Sean. I'm thinking of like funny lines to say all the time, and it's really
My wife's not interested. I can't.
Patreon.com/TCGS if you'd like to support us. Different tiers there. You don't have to go full nails, but you fucking better. You can listen to bonus shows and stuff. I noticed a few messages. I think maybe it's in these lists of what we're going to say here. So sorry to spoil it, but someone turned around and said, "Yeah, no, I joined up this week and I've got like months and months of bonus podcasts to listen to." So it's important to highlight that you get the full back catalogue of.
Years
shows.
of bonus podcasts at this point.
So yeah, definitely go and check that out if you haven't already. Should we get to, I'm worried about this. Should we get to feedback, Matt? Well, should we do our own little bit of feedback? Because after we did the Game of the Year show, it was a strange atmosphere, I thought. Because I think for the main part, myself, James and Sean were kind of like, afterwards, we stopped recording and we all said, I think that was a really good one. That worked quite well, actually. I was quite happy with that. Matt, you seemed absolutely crestfallen. You seemed like so angry. Were you all right?
Oh, yeah, well, yes, I was. I was fine, obviously. And ultimately, it's like, okay, we got it done. It's a great episode. Really happy with it. But I will say, I definitely agree with one person's feedback that, and it might be here, not sure. But someone said that we did the Game of the Year show, Balatro won, and then we didn't really have the time to like really celebrate the game again, because obviously the anger was there.
Yes, that is in here.
So
address that
I
when we go
think
to
that
the
was true.
feedback.
Like at the time, it's just like it was kind of funny to end it in like an angry way. But yeah, we probably should have, to coin a phrase, given it its flowers and actually celebrated the game. But we kind of didn't. We just came and went. But no, I wasn't angry. I just was a little bit angry.
I think you were a little bit angry, Matt. Like, I think
I was angry at James, obviously.
Yeah, you tried to bribe the wrong person. Like, why did you try and bribe David? Why didn't you offer me money?
Because I trusted you when you said you wouldn't.
I'm skint.
Well, I trusted you, James, when you said you wouldn't change your mind.
Wasn't going to, but it was 2:30 in the morning.
No, so 5 would have made a big difference. Fine.
I can
wasn't
see
going
our
to
regular
until he
listener
was.
Ryan in the chat saying that Astrobot got robbed. Sorry, were you a fan of that then? I'm trying to think.
I'm not seeing him mention it anywhere.
No, I've not seen him mention it
No, it's not
everywhere
come up.
every 5 seconds. Should we get to feedback, Matt? What did the listeners think of it?
Yes, Rascal Fist has messaged. I have a little tradition each year where I fire up the GOTY show on Christmas Day while taking my dog out for a walk. Sadly, we lost our boy in November, but I wanted to keep the tradition going this year as a way of remembering him during the festivities. Thanks to another great show, the fact that GOTY started with the phrase bum problems and ended with the phrase narrative of spite made it everything I wanted. I also love the annual Red Dead Redemption 2 bone of contention being thrown into the mix. Balatro is a worthy winner. Should I just go through all of these and then we'll cover it after that?
Is it worth telling the story of how I fell ill?
Go on.
It's not going to be too graphic.
I think we should, yeah.
Obviously, I think that's what was so strange about it. Was so we were recording on the Monday the 16th, Sunday the 15th. I had big night out planned with friends of the show, Chris Spann and Josh Garrity. Escape room and a big dinner, right? The classic.
The
Oh.
big night out.
What a big night.
All
Lads,
fucking
Calm
wine.
down.
lads. I felt absolutely fine, right? Did the escape room, smashed it, obviously, including loads of bonus objectives.
I'd love to see what you're like to the staff when you walk in. Have you done a week? Yeah. We have. Just
Let
stick
me
us
in.
in there. Yeah.
Can I go for a wee
I wonder
first?
if this
Thanks.
one has a slide. If you've got pins and a rope, then we know what we're doing. We're just
Yeah.
gonna make the cross. You go.
Then we went to this place called Brewski's in Chester, which is fucking brilliant. And we got this massive like Christmas platter, right? It's absolutely obscene. Couldn't fucking wait. It's like brilliant. This is going to be amazing. Food showed up. And we all just started eating. And after a bit, I was like, I'm full. Why am I full? I'm not really eating it, but I feel really full. I
Me
was
the
like-
night before your wedding.
And I sort of just started slowing down, and I was just like, well, this is really disappointing because I'm surrounded with amazing food. And I've eaten a bit, and I don't. All right, I'm full, I guess. I don't know. And then as we were walking to the car, I was like, man, I am really full. I am so full. I do actually feel a bit unwell, but I just felt full. I didn't feel. Normally you're like, well, I just feel a bit off, right? I know I shouldn't eat a lot. Whereas this was like, no, I really want to, but I just physically can't. And then, drove home and then was sick for about 2 hours. And was just like, oh, no, I am poorly. It's never come on like that before for me. I don't know if you guys are the same.
It just seems like you really wanted to get this off your chest. What's this got to do with Rascal's bit of feedback?
There's no connection to that at all.
Yeah, there is.
I guess
Mention
bum problems.
There weren't actually any bum problems. That's the worst part. It was all sick.
Yeah, but it was funnier to milk that bit.
And so it was. Yeah, so I just couldn't believe, like, completely took me by surprise, and that's why that night I was like, lads, I don't think I can fucking do this show. I don't know where this has come from.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
So Joe had exactly the same thing Christmas Day. We were really ill over Christmas, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day.
Well,
which
let's
was
move
fine,
on anyway. It's
actually.
not really relevant. So we'll.
It was fine actually because we weren't going anywhere or doing anything, and Harry racked up a ridiculous amount of hours on Fortnite, so he had an amazing Christmas. But similar thing. Anyway, I wonder what the TCGS boys are talking about. They must have loads of games to talk about. Puts it on, and I was just full, but I wasn't full. But I really
No, I
felt
don't want to be
I
full.
didn't feel sick, but then I was sick, and then I felt sick.
Okay.
Bit of feedback, Matt.
Just Shields. Happy New Year, gents. Just a quick one to comment on the Game of the Year show. Class, as always. I'm really happy for the hill turn from Dave at the end. Brilliant telly. That being said, he was lucky that both James and Matt hadn't played Howard Halibut last year, as I think that despite Hellblade 2 getting a kicking, Justice for Senua, Howard Halibut, a game that I loved, was even less of a game than Hellblade was, and those two being against each other at the start was great GOTY gamesmanship by Dave. All the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw this bit of feedback. I don't really know where you're getting at because I've always been of the opinion that it doesn't have to be a game to be a game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
like
I
a
was a big fan
llama.
of-
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it'd be a fucking alarm.
Good point. No, I've always been of the opinion that I've always loved walking simulators and all that sort of stuff. Just and Harold Halibut was definitely that. I mean, I described it a lot as it looked like a point and click adventure when it was a walking simulator. Hellblade 2 was just shit though.
It wasn't
had
shit.
nothing to do with the
wasn't very
lack of
good.
interactivity. It just wasn't very.
It wasn't objectively
good.
bad, though, was it, James? As you wrongly said.
It was objectively bad. Yeah.
Well, no. Do you know
Those
that's not how
puzzle-
objectively works?
I don't care. I'm laying down the law. It's objectively
Holy
bad.
shit.
Those
Were you going-
those
T-shirt.
those
There's another T-shirt. I'm laying down the law.
those perspective puzzles are a crime, and they're not very good.
Well, not
Yeah,
as good
so
as your
say
first catchphrase, but
Judge,
No, maybe stop there.
yeah, you should
how can I
stop.
fit in another legal porno?
Can we have him like in one of those police hats with the bill sort of text over the
I
top?
was thinking one of those judge wigs.
I'm laying down the law. Anything, just James Farley in a uniform, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I mean,
Do you
or
know
no
how much
uniform.
money we will make.
The T-shirt line is just James Farley at this point. I'm loving it. It's great. Right, Gasman, GOTY. Dear lads, thank you for 2024 and a great GOTY 2024. While waiting for new episodes to come out, I gave the year of 2024 a re-listening, or at least some of it. In episode 388, 14th of Feb, all-town staff meeting, the following games are introduced by Sean and or discussed: Helldivers 2, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Ultros, Balatro, and Howard Halibut. An impressive start to the year as all five ended up on the GOTY roster, and a testament to Sean's indie game nose. All this leading up.
Come on.
Stop you
Helldivers 2 is not an indie game. Neither is
No,
Prince
but
of
it is one
Persia.
that I highlighted before anyone else.
Okay,
Not
okay,
Yeah.
fine.
no.
Before
Fine.
it was cool.
But the percentage ratio of the games that he mentions on this show, I've got. You could say, right, name all the ones that didn't make the list.
That's not really relevant. I mean, it's worth pointing out that like Ultros was discussed on the Game of the Year show because I really liked it and I was the only one that talked about it in February. And also, I didn't like Harold Halibut in the end, so I don't know if they
Yeah.
count.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, we heard about that. All this leading up to a suggestion for the GOTY show. Okay, here we go. Okay, so someone's asking, it's a format change. I know how much you are not a fan of changes to the GOTY, and I'm a fan of you not being a fan of changes. But it seems to me the GOTY first and foremost is a celebration of the year of great games and Alarmo, and the show always ends on a low note in spite of this. I'd recommend a 5-minute break after the end of the discussion for everybody to collect themselves and lick their stab wounds, then return to the show and announce the winning game as a proper celebration. Love the show and everything you've made for us over the years. Keep up the great work. Happy New Year. 2025 is going to be great. From Gasman.
I there's
I
part
think
of
that's
me.
quite. Go on.
There's part of me that kind of likes how it ends.
Yeah, see, I like that as well. It's all like awkward and kind of like just.
Yeah. And, like the Game of the Year show is not a nice process, and it is genuinely not a nice process for us either. Doing it right, it's we get nervous about it before it starts. By the
Yeah,
end of it,
it's like
someone
2
always
weeks
feels
before,
like
yeah.
really upset and feels like everyone's ganged up on them. It just feels very awkward, right? I think it would be disingenuous.
James has
to
been
go,
sick.
Okay, so that's done. Hey, well done,
Yeah.
Balatro. It just wouldn't be right. I think the fact
And I
that we
suppose like whatever's in the final, we've probably talked about quite a lot up until that point. I definitely see what Gasman's saying because it does sort of fizzle out. We're all knackered. It's like, right, that happened. I need to go to bed. So, you know,
It's
see
2
you
in the
next year.
morning.
Yeah, see you next year. Just,
But I think it's more
would
us
we
than
just
us giving a big fanfare at the end of the podcast, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
would we just be repeating what we'd already said up to that point.
And also, you'd know that someone's sitting there fuming anyway.
Yeah, me.
You know, no one's going to turn around and go, "Oh no, Matt's loving this bit."
Maybe
Because-
maybe the rule is whoever didn't vote for the game has to just leave.
It gets booted.
No, whoever doesn't vote for the game has to do the big speech at the end about the game.
It definitely wouldn't work because
Oh,
there'd still
Alarmo
be
is such a great alarm clock, and I love the way it works.
there'd still be like snide comments and stuff as well going on like after what we've done. Yeah, by the end. So it would ruin it.
It would be nice to celebrate it, but yeah, I also like the awkward ending. Hence the way it's always ended.
Without saying what and going into specifics just yet, did any of you have any, not regrets, but, if it was done this week, I would have voted slightly differently? No, everyone's sticking
So
by
sorry,
their choices.
if
Sorry,
the
guys,
GOTY
shaking
show
your
was
head on a podcast isn't the best way of dealing with the situation. Like, since then, have you thought about, because there's definitely something that I wish I'd have pushed a little bit more than I did.
I'll tell you what, I wish I'd done deals. I did no deals this year, and it's like my stuff didn't even get through the first round.
That is 100% true, by the way. That is 100% true. Sean and I have been speaking about the Game of the Year show for about 2 months, or when
Maybe
did
more than that.
Astrobot come out?
Yeah.
It was around then,
Yeah.
and we basically set out to do exactly what happened at the end.
I mean, I didn't have to do anything.
Wankers.
I just
No, you didn't. I just needed to talk to someone about it.
well, you didn't play it as I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to be nice and be like, "No, come on, James," and make the argument for Balatro, and then be like, "Fuck you, James. I actually think Astrobot should have won, but here's my fucking revenge."
Oh no, that would have been a better angle. I didn't know that. That would have been great.
yeah, that would be real nice.
No, you
Oh,
got
and Matt, no one twigged our little arrangement.
They didn't, did they? They didn't. No one did. I was thinking about it afterwards. Yeah, no one twigged our little.
What was your little arrangement?
So what was it? I voted for Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Yeah, I think I said. Yeah,
What did you vote for in return? I can't remember.
Uh,
Ultros.
yeah, I think it was. It might have been Ultros.
Might have been
Hold
Yeah,
on.
so
Well,
Did
hold
yeah,
on.
I'll check my
I think
message.
Ultros got through on merit, didn't it? I think
I'll
it
check
was
my
something
messages.
else.
Ben, what did Lorelei's knock out, and what did Ultras knock out, please? I know you've got your
Well, I know
spreadsheet.
Ultros knocked out Neva, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think I said if I switch, will you vote for Lorelei?
Oh,
And
but
you
what
said-
did you switch for? No, because I think you always said Ultros, didn't you? So I don't think it was that. I think it was something else.
Either way, yeah, there was a
Yeah,
deal.
got away with it.
James, you should have done a deal. You did get away with it until
Yeah.
you told us here. I cannot believe you just.
Oh, Lorelei knocked out Prince of Persia.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm
I
not
wonder what Matt
completely
swapped
upset
for.
about that. Then.
One of mine. Dunno.
Yeah.
Ultras knocked out Neva. That is insane. That actually.
Oh,
That's-
yeah, that was satisfying.
No,
That was good.
correct. Okay.
Anyway, yeah,
All
a deal
right.
happened. A deal snuck in. Okay.
Yeah, well,
two bits
we
of
didn't
feedback.
Because
Mate,
I properly
well,
got
the
away
winning
with that
deal.
because I
Yeah, still got to the final.
Okay, so Just Shield says Ultros was a Matt switch, and then James went for Ultros based on the box art.
That's not true. Also on Sean's very eloquent, description of why the game was
Yeah,
good.
and it
because
wasn't
I
just
was-
us saying that. People in
I
the
was
Discord
really
were saying that
nervous.
as well. So
I was really nervous talking about Ultros, but I got
What
loads
does
of
that
really
mean?
nice comments about it. I think Gabby's buying a PS5 off the basis of it, which is insane. I mean, thanks, obviously.
That is insane. Can't you
yeah.
just play it on something else?
She doesn't have anything else at all.
Oh,
Well,
right, get the PS5 then.
you
It's
may
a
as well get
quality
PS5.
console.
but
Yeah. Sean's no closer, by the way, and it makes me feel sick. You didn't watch it. You texted us last night saying, was it Games Done Quick? Have got Astro.
Oh yeah, Astrobot was on it. Yeah.
You didn't watch it though, did you?
I mean, I watched a bit and then.
Oh, don't!
Oh,
So much of that is experiencing it firsthand.
He's never going to play it.
Probably
It's
not.
he's never
gonna
going to
happen.
get PS5. Might as well wait for PS6 at this point.
Why don't you just come down for the weekend? I could sit and watch you play.
Yeah,
like that.
I'll put your fucking podcast shield on my head, and I'll just have the telly in
well,
front
I
of
haven't
me.
been sent
Well,
it yet. Go
how
on.
about when I'm getting my tattoo, you can just you can mainline Astrobot in the corner
It'd
while
be
I'm.
like,
No,
when
do
you-
you know what was amazing? So yeah, for those who aren't aware, Awesome Games Done Quick is on this week, like all this week. It's a constant stream, people doing speed runs. It's amazing. It's well worth watching, even if you think you're not really into that sort of thing. It's properly fascinating. Yeah, and Astrobot was on it, and yeah, early on, someone donated and basically included a message, and it was this 5-year-old kid, and he was just like, "Astrobot is my favorite game. I'm watching this with my daddy. Like, and it's just like, oh fuck, man, that's brilliant. It was so good.
Grow up.
Yeah, Charlie got like loads of Astrobot merch. Like he's obsessed
he?
with it, and he finally completed it this weekend. And I helped him out with the final boss. But he
Does he prefer Balatro?
yeah, he's like you did the right thing. Yeah, you did the
Yeah.
right thing.
Worthy winner.
When I think of great Game of the Year show moments, one of the things that doesn't come up enough was when James. It was what was it? It was Animal Crossing versus something else, and James played an audio clip of his daughter begging us to vote for Animal Crossing, and James then voted for the other game.
Yeah, that was terrible. And that out of every single Game of the Year show we've done, that not pushing Animal Crossing harder was the thing I always feel the most guilty about.
Yeah, that should have got Game of the Year that year.
Yeah.
That should have got Game of the Year.
Because we all basically agreed it was like such a cultural moment as well. It wasn't just a game. It got us all through.
It was
Yeah, but
the
you
only
many
reason
months
I
of
knew
that.
what time it
'cause
was. Some days it was
You really wanted another game to win, and then that was it. When you do that, you dig your heels in. You won't even consider changing.
I'm just saying that whatever the other game was, it was probably better.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
last bit of feedback from the same person. This is from someone called Hold the Line. On the last 5 minutes of GOTY, they're coming on the last 5 minutes of GOTY. Need James and Matt to hold the line here. If they're bent to David's manipulation, I'm never going to forgive them. Next bit of feedback. James, you moron! I mean, I'm exactly the same. Hold the line.
It's great.
Exactly the same. Can't trust the James Farley.
Balatro is a quality game. It's
Have you
Well, we've
completed
got
a run
some
yet?
Balatro chat.
No.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
still not
let's
finished the
save
run?
this.
No, I had another one the other day where I got to the last ante, and then it was the 300,000 one again. Like it's happened to me 3 times now.
Like that is the shittest one,
Yeah.
without a shadow of a doubt. I don't get the wall either. I don't get it.
That is the wall,
Because-
isn't it? The 300,000.
That is the wall, but when it appears like in a normal run,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the anti one has a different name. You're right.
yeah, I just kind of think, well, like I was listening to Nextlander talking about it on their Game of the Year show, and they were like, some of the bosses they piss me off because like all of a sudden, I can only play pairs, and
yeah.
my build's not good for that, and I'm like, yeah, but you do get like several goes before you reach that boss, and it tells you what that is before then.
Yeah.
So you can go into the shop, I think it's twice, knowing what that boss is going to be. So and you can sell all your jokers and buy new ones to cover you to get you past that boss or whatever. And I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake, like you've completely missed the point there. But I think that one, when you come against the wall, there's only so much you can do in those 2 shop visits to get you.
It's really annoying. What's most annoying as well is then I introduced it to Chen, and then she just finished it in the afternoon. Like,
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to say it's a skill issue, but
it is a skill issue. No, it
It
absolutely is
definitely
a
is.
skill
you
issue.
will reach a point where you're just like, oh man, I can't believe this used to annoy me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still
I mean-
really enjoying it, so I don't really care that much because it's like, apart from when the wall turns up, but the rest of it is just like, yeah, this is still good.
Okay.
Must be pretty
All
embarrassing if I'd done it and I'm rubbish at games.
Well, we've got Balatro chat later.
We have. Anyway, that's it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/deartcgs, leave your feedback. And just to say, yeah, that still works. The website is broken and, I need to look at it. But that link still
Considering
works.
I think we
dumping the website.
I think we just do what we talked about, yeah.
Yeah, I looked into forwarding the URL to a link tree and that it was also proven difficult, but I'll keep talking to people. Well, it's like that plus the blue sky thing is what makes it difficult because
Oh,
we
I
kind of
see.
I'll see
Yeah, we
what I
might
can
have
do.
to undo that
Anyway.
one day, I think.
Yeah.
But we should also, in terms of feedback, we should also say like the chat around the Game of the Year show on our Discord was amazing. Like it was so fun following that. We sort of broadly agreed we weren't going to get involved, and then a few of us, me, couldn't help it a couple of times.
Absolutely not what happened there, Sean. We didn't broadly agree. We all said a hard rule. Let's not go into the Game of the Year spoiler chat. Let's let people just discuss it without us.
I don't remember
All 3
that.
of you went in there. All 3 of you, they're chatting away in there. It was disgusting.
I don't remember agreeing to that.
I might have put one post in there. Don't know about
doesn't
chatting
matter.
away.
We
But the
all
whole
agreed
point
that
was
we
we were
wouldn't
either
do
just
it.
making jokes or like clarifying things rather than actually like arguing with people or.
Okay. All right. It's not what was agreed. I was very disappointed in you boys. And then even then I was like, I'm still not going to do it, even though everyone else has done. I'm still.
It sounds
not
like a
gonna.
you issue then, not us. But
No.
not to Discord.
Sounds like you issue.
Well, I think I might say one comment. I can do it all, mate. That's our
Doesn't
Discord.
matter. But we'd agreed not to, Matt. The whole point was.
Yeah, I don't, maybe not like get in and properly like get amongst the conversation, but I just a couple of quips is fine. Get in and get out.
No more quips from you. Can we have a quipless
What?
year, please?
What have I got? I've got nothing left. That's all I am. There's nothing. There's nothing to me other than that. I mean, do that, but
You still got your puns.
well,
You've got plenty of those up your sleeve.
Are we allowed puns? Okay, fine. I love puns. Yeah, so it's not just Discord. Like even seeing Evan's tweets and stuff over like the week and like watching it, listening to it later. It's great. And I was loving kind of looking at various posts on Blue Sky and Discord and Instagram.
Asking for trouble here. Asking for trouble. But I am waiting for the 1 year we do that Game of the Year show and people go, actually, that wasn't that good. Like it's not happened yet.
It is going to happen.
It will happen 1 year, and that's going to be when we.
And that will be the last year we do it.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what? You're right. That's it. Over.
Just go out with a whimper. Just be like, that's it.
This is kind of well, it's not even related, but like, I'm still upset that there's no E3 for us to do our standard of kind of like.
Oh, I was thinking that this morning.
Yeah, I was thinking that because like generally our biggest shows will be like the GOTY show, and then it'll be like the E3 show where someone doesn't watch the conferences and the rest of us tell them about it. And I'm still devastated that we got to do a little bit, didn't we, with Ellie last year?
Yes, that's right.
Randomly, but
yeah.
I need that magic back. It was so bloody good.
What was the lie we told Ellie?
I can't remember now.
Something about the Dreamcast or something, wasn't it?
Is it Dreamcast Mini?
You drink,
Was it
maybe.
Dreamcast?
Yeah.
I thought there was
Might
a
be
bunch of them.
Dreamcast Mini.
There's more than
360
one.
mini.
Oh, 360 Mini.
360
Thanks,
Mini.
Fake Genius has just put that in the chat. Yes, thank you. That was it. That was
Yeah.
it, finally.
I want. I need that magic back in my life. I love that.
Yeah, no, it is good. Maybe we can work something out. We've got lots planned for 2025, listeners. Don't worry about it. We've got plenty more of these. We've got the tattoo. Although I notice you still haven't said anything to the artist.
Well, look, I'll leave him have the first week of Jan. Then I'll go right in with some mad amends.
Okay, all right, and then we've got hopefully the football game sponsorship thing.
Yeah, football match sponsorship. That's gonna be great.
It's all happening this year.
Get to go out in the semicircle, centre circle, wearing suits.
Oh
holding
my
football.
god! Can we get you to take? Penalty shootout competition at half time.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd be shit, but I would absolutely love that.
I'd love to see Shaw Bell whack a penalty in front of thousands of people.
It's probably top bins. They're better than us.
He's doing that, and then like pointing, his back.
Yeah,
No, just want to be Panenkering it.
Yeah.
I'm laughing 'cause I know
rubbing
what
his
that means.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, old Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we get to the news for this week,
Yeah.
James?
Yeah, sure. So, it turns out that the games industry is only going to have room for one non-Nintendo console for the next gen. And so, this is according
Say that
to...
again. You sort of... What? What
said-
did you say?
The games industry
Say
is
what?
only going to have room for one non-Nintendo console next gen.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So that's the thing.
Sure.
So this is from a market research firm called DFC Intelligence. They've said that they reckon that the new hardware from Nintendo is obviously going to do very well, and also 2025 is going to be a massive year because of GTA 6, and there's going to be massive growth, etc. And also they reckon that the number of people playing worldwide is going to increase to like 4 billion by 2027, which is like half the global population. But they also said there isn't room for more than two major console systems. Sony or Microsoft will struggle mightily in a distant third place, largely dependent on which of these companies can gain early momentum. And then,
Already happening, isn't it?
well, no, this is,
I
and
was
then
about to say, this is the shittest industry inside.
Well, they're
Commentators
talking
already where we are.
They're talking specifically about next gen. So they said a new Sony
Right.
system, PlayStation 6, should have an advantage because of loyal base and strong Sony IP.
Should
Yeah, and then they
should
said,
have an advantage.
and then they said,
I think it might actually.
What is
and then they said Microsoft failed with the Xbox Series X and S, but has made major acquisitions to become the world's largest software publisher. Microsoft has the option of focusing on software and distribution models over hardware. And they said, well, 2025 will mark the beginning of that upward trajectory. Some huge questions remain, including who will lose the next-gen console war and who will win the game software distribution battle.
the
Well, we're all saying that. We're all asking, aren't we?
Or something.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are the DFC? I've never heard of this lot, and they're terrible. I hate them.
DFC Intelligence, David. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's a research company, isn't it?
Yeah, but what are they researching? That's not research. Oh,
They're
well,
just
we
doing-
don't
they're
like
just
that.
on
They could have
Twitter.
gleaned from 20 minutes looking at Eurogamer.
Yeah. Or listen
Yeah.
to one episode of this pod. We predict that GTA 6 will be successful for
Yeah, it'll be a
Rockstar.
big hit next year.
We think that Call of Duty will come out this year and FC26. So write that down. That's a prediction. If they were on the show doing gaming predictions, they would get none of these.
Yeah, like no, too obvious.
Yeah. Not allowing that.
PS6 should have an advantage. Should.
God, can you imagine if that's how this show ended one week? We were just like, yeah. So what we're actually doing is we're transitioning from podcasting into business consultancy.
Yeah, we set up our own thing now.
Yes, intelligence. Well, I mean, let's not read our predictions out from last year then. Let's not do that. We've already getting up on the wrong foot, aren't we? Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think I believe them. I think, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's nothing really to say about it. I mean, it's hard to know where Microsoft, what they do to even come back. I know that's silly because I'm sure there's peaks and troughs and stuff, but by now I don't know what happens to Microsoft.
They've been in a trough for about 20 years now, haven't they?
This feels worse than Xbox One days.
Well, no,
me.
it's worse because of the fact that the Xbox One was a terrible console, whereas the Series X and Series S are really good consoles, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it's such a shame, that that it worked out this way.
It does feel. I mean, I know Microsoft's library is what it is, or 2024 was not the best year for them software-wise, but yeah, I think they suffer massively just from that loss of momentum in the previous gen. But I think what fascinates me about this stuff is so you're saying there's only room for one non-Nintendo console because Nintendo have this special sort of enshrined position within the games industry. But say Nintendo didn't exist now, and it was Sony versus Microsoft, I don't think anyone would be thinking like, oh, if only there was like another console that was like a bit more family friendly, but not quite. Do you know what I mean? Everyone would just be like, well, we've got mobile games for that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone would be asking for Nintendo to exist if it didn't already. And yet, as it is, it's like, oh no, they're absolutely irreplaceable. Don't you dare go anywhere, Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, that's because they've got their whole legacy behind them, haven't they?
Yeah.
People know what Nintendo is, so it's easy to sell. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that their next console is going to be a massive hit, though.
No, I agree.
That is a flat-out guarantee. I think it will be. I think the odds are that it will be because I think they're going to play it safe. But if they were to come out with another Wii, I mean, Wii and Wii U is the perfect example, isn't it? Look at the
They've
difference
done this
between those
before.
two. Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to screw up royally. But then again, Xbox 360 was amazing. All we wanted was another 360, and then the Xbox One came out, and it's like, how have you done that?
But it's probably going to be a bit. I mean, at least initially, this is where I'm going to say this, and then it's like 2 years down the line, everyone's going to be laughing. It's like I reckon that the Switch 2 is probably going to be a bit like the DS to the 3DS in the sense that it will sell pretty well. Like it will still do pretty good, but it will never reach the heights of the Switch. I don't think.
Well, this might be getting into predictions, but I think because it's going to be actually more expensive than the Switch was when that came out, due to.
Oh, you think that?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. But I mean, like way more. That's what I think.
I think what else is interesting about the Switch 2 is obviously there's been a lot of Switch-like devices since the Switch came out, but those have been more aimed at the PC market. I don't think any of those are particularly suitable for like casuals or families, whatever.
No.
So I think the Switch 2 can probably still get away with basically being that again without them having to be like, oh, but shit, there's loads of, like no one's going into a shop and being like, oh, I could get a Switch 2 or I could get an ROG Ally. Like that's not.
Yeah, no one's
they're
thinking
still
that.
two very different audiences, I think. So
It just needs to
massively
play
different,
like Minecraft and Fortnite better, and it'll probably do all right. That's the thing, and be cheap or reasonably cheap.
Well, you got more. You got more about the leaks here, haven't you? For the Nintendo console. So let's get into this.
So there's been like an upscaling pattern has been spotted now, and this is a pattern which it details this use of upscaling technology, which is to like get 4K textures down so that like the physical game cartridges, they don't have to be so massive, like in not physical size, but in terms of data size. They're not going to be massive cartridges. Is what I'm trying to say. They're not going to be like N64 cartridges that you like plug into your Switch.
Oh damn!
Yeah, which would be good. But then
Why
I mean
the
the pattern.
expecting the same things. I'm confused.
Yeah, so the pattern also describes how similar, because like Nvidia have their DLSS, and then PlayStation have got the pisser thing for PS5 Pro. Yeah. And which upscales images using AI, and it seems that this is going to be doing pretty much the same thing for the Switch.
Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Because DLSS is weird in that there's 3 DLSS. There's DLSS 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0, and they all do different things, and not just improvements on each other. So DLSS 2.0 is the one that increases resolution by guessing what happens in half the pixels. And then 3.0 is the one that generates extra frames based on guesswork. So there's this.
James, you're nodding and going, Do you know this, or are you just saying?
No, I think the way Sean is describing this is very interesting, so I'm nodding.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I can't remember what 4.0 does, but yeah, it's just interesting that obviously you would look at that and be like, oh, okay, so they're just doing new versions of the same thing, and it's like, no, they actually work in different ways. The upshot is it can do supposedly greater visual fidelity with less powerful hardware, but yeah.
And the key advantage here, like the main thing, is this way that they can decrease the size of games. So, like if you have like 4K like native assets, they can use this to scale things down so that it'll fit on cartridges better, but also downloads will be smaller, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good, I guess.
Does it help with frame rate as well then? Because that is the biggest problem with the Switch at the moment. That anything that looks even comparable to like the PS4 era games, they just run like shit, right? And it's been a big problem on some of their biggest titles, and that is very un-Nintendo-like.
I think
particularly recently.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because like in the first sort of half of the Switch's lifetime, you can be like, yeah, I know it's not going to be 4K, but fucking hell, look at Mario Kart. It still looks great. But then when you've got, what was it called, Zelda last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Echoes of Wisdom?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Not Tears of the Kingdom. The one
Echoes of
Echoes of Wisdom. Oh,
Echoes of Wisdom,
Jesus,
thank
yeah.
you.
I mean, even like Mario and Luigi Brothership as well. Like that ran terribly. And it's
And like Echoes of Wisdom, like it looked nice, but it wasn't like, oh, I can see why this is running slow on a Switch. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like mind.
But it's been a problem with the Switch from the start. There are areas of Mario Odyssey that's really framey. There are areas like there's a lot of Breath of the Wild.
Zelda, Breath of the Wild was really bad at points.
That's my main concern rather than resolution, to be honest with you. My eyes are going anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I just don't want to see.
Well, this is it. I mean, if they said, I don't necessarily know if I care if the new Switch aims for 4K or not. Like,
no, because I fully expected it would just be a 1080p screen anyway.
Yeah,
that hand, your handheld, obviously on TV would be different, but
it's 60 frames that's more important.
Yeah, I don't think I need my Nintendo consoles to aim for 4K. I just don't. Like 1080p for a Nintendo console is fine for me.
Even 1440 would be lovely.
Yeah,
don't
1440 would be lovely. Yeah,
don't need 4K.
But for me, it's got to have 60 frames. Like that should be what their games should be aiming for. But I don't know anything about this stuff, so I just want those games to. I will say, having a look at all of these rumors and these leaks that are coming out. I said to you guys this morning, like I'd be amazed if this wasn't announced this week. It feels like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, there must be scrambling internally so bad.
Yeah,
like, even if they were planning on announcing it late Jan or Feb or March, like the amount of leaks now, it's like they've got to just. They're going to have to be changing their plans.
Warning. We've got a Nintendo Direct at the end of the week. This is what I think, and then they'll announce it at the end of the week. And I just there's part of me that's kind of like, yes, Nintendo, you are releasing another Switch and you're playing it safe, and that's good because that means that you're still going to be in the game. But there's also part of me that's like, I wish Nintendo were a bit wacky so I can get weirded out by what I'm going to have in my hands.
There will definitely be one wacky thing because they won't. Because I can't see them just doing a straight
all the
Switch
leaks 2. Really do.
Well, yeah,
it's
weird because I'm kind of in two minds because you were saying also this morning, Dave. Like a new console is so exciting, a new Nintendo console is like arguably more exciting than that. Like, you just cannot beat the announcement of a new console. But then also, like,
Go on, sorry.
sorry, what?
I was going to say, like, with the new Switch, if the hardware is basically the same, it's more powerful or whatever, I'd be really happy if the operating system had a bit more personality in it again.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Because the Switch was a real climb down on that front. Not that it really matters, but...
No, but it is what people wanted at that time.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, there was a big push. I remember the PS4 had... The PS4 was the problem for this stuff, right? Where OSs in gaming let's go really basic and plain across the board. I never really liked that style. I never really I think at times it looks nice, but I don't think it's particularly functional or fun. And
Not as fun, but I still think it's easier. I mean, like, the PS4 cross media bar was like, you knew what you were getting. It's like, it's like the game's left and right, up for this, down for that. It's like, okay, I'm not. There were some ads, but I wasn't bombarded. It wasn't like, the Xbox OS is like, Jesus Christ, where do I go? It's a nightmare.
The Xbox OS, I found that I could get places way quicker because it was cluttered. Like the Xbox the one and the current one, it is quite cluttered. You press that guide button. There's so many options in that first panel. It's wild. But it's so much more functional. Whereas, like, whenever I use my PS5 now, even I'm like, right, go down here, then go across right. Like a couple of times, then press A, then go into this, and it's like fucking hell, man.
Speaking about this, have you used it, or have you used or seen the new welcome panel we've got on PS5 now? So now
I've
it's
not
like
used it. I've seen
it's the default thing you see now. So, and the basically essentially like a little collection of mini widgets. So I've got my screenshots are there. It shows like storage of the console. It'll have like, and you can add and remove these things. You can have a bit of news. You can show like you're charging for your controllers. Okay, like I think that's them accepting that those things were buried so far in settings before that now I'm like, okay, I can see all the things I need. Like, I glance. Yeah, I really like it actually. Your friends list, messages. It's like I really like that.
I hate they call that all that stuff Game Center. That pisses me off.
I've never liked that.
Game Center. What do you mean Game Center? Oh, is this where my games are? No, it's just where your notifications are and that.
Yeah, right, but I think the new welcome widget panel thing is really good. Yeah, I like that.
I'll have a look at that then properly. But another thing that I've said in the WhatsApp group a few times over this past week is that with knowing that this is more likely to be an extension of the Switch rather than a new concept from Nintendo, I'm less interested in the console and I'm more interested in seeing what they do with the launch. Like, what games have they got running alongside it to try and convince you to buy the new one? I'm fascinated. It's good as a fan of Nintendo to get a sudden influx of games, even if it's only 2 or 3 first-party games this year, which I think they'll have to produce. That's still exciting, right? Because they're the developers that we love. Like, they create great games. I'd be amazed if they launched with a 3D Mario. I'd be but excited, obviously. But we could potentially see this year a new 3D Mario, a new Mario Kart. Like, that's buzzing.
They will need a big hitter for launch, surely.
But also,
not necessarily. They didn't for the last one. They didn't for the.
The Switch had Zelda.
But it was cross-platform.
Best game
made. I think whatever this is will be cross-platform.
Right? That was also
I think it will be cross-platform. If there's a new 3D Mario, I think it will be cross-platform as well.
I'd love it if they go full hubris again, and it just becomes like it's like Super Mario Brothers U again is like the launch game or something like that. That's something similar to that.
I mean, we're getting into predictions now. Maybe I should say.
But I don't think if there is,
I was like, this feels like the most Nintendo thing you've ever heard, and I don't think it'll happen, but if it did happen, we'd all go, of course, that's what Nintendo's going to do with this, but I'll save it for them.
But anything they release, I don't know if they will be exclusive because there's 120 or 146 million Switches out there. I think anything that we see on Switch 2 will be on both platforms, but the best place to play it, obviously, will be Switch 2.
I don't think they'll do that.
Matt, Nintendo want you to upgrade. They want you to put.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, why would you bother? Like, look at what's happening
because
with
all the things
are
going to be like there's 150 Switches out there. They're not going to want to. It'd be mad for them to go exclusive.
But it's the same thing as like with the PS4 to PS5. There's still tons of people didn't buy a PS5 because there's still loads of those games come out on PS4 as well. Like, surely they want to convert people over as quickly as possible.
And I think also it is a Nintendo thing to do to draw the line under it and say, our games are coming out for the new console now.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I guess Sony didn't do it as well because there was 100 plus like PS4s. It's like that's such a massive audience that you don't want to like lose out on. But
and like let's not forget the PS5 is on top. Like it's
like
PS5
people have
is doing
upgraded.
absolutely fine, even though most of the exclusives are still coming out on PS4 as well.
All the advertising would be like Switch 2 Mario, and like also in small print, also on Switch. Like all the adverts, everything will be like Switch 2, but actually it will be on.
That would kill me if the new 3D Mario game came out on the Switch as well as the new Switch. I get it. It's great for consumers because they'll get to play the new 3D Mario game. I would kind of feel that maybe it's been held back. Like I want to see them take that to the next level. But
like with PS4, PS5, it will happen again. I think for Switch, and we'll be like, oh, when's generation really starting on Switch 2? Because they're still working on.
I can't see. That's not how Nintendo think though, because they will be like on to the next one. This is it. In
the past, sure, but they may have changed it.
I can see them doing that with for example, like Metroid Prime 4. I can see them doing that because that was already announced for Switch, that kind of thing. But things that are completely new that are for like launch, I can't see them being cross generation.
What if it's you can buy there's just one version of the game and it runs on both? Look, they confirmed that.
I can see you saying that in a boardroom in Nintendo and then standing outside with a cardboard box. What happened there?
Get out.
That's not the Nintendo way.
And look at that. Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Like, that is how it should be, right? That is how it should be. I just, you get a feeling that Nintendo feel that they do their own thing and they don't really care. I mean, it's taken this long to sort of guarantee that the next one will have backwards compatibility. I do think we'll see some Switch 2 exclusive Nintendo games at launch, and they'd be mad not to. There's got to be a game from Nintendo on their new system that justifies you upgrading, right? There has to be. Hasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, I can see it both sides. So when there's, like I said, 150 million Switches out there, that is a fuckload of revenue.
But they did
miss out on.
I know, but again, the DS, there was even more of those out there, and then 3DS came out, and they were all exclusive games. 3DS games.
You've also got to remember that, Matt, these games have a long
long tail, as I say.
They'll be selling these to new Switch 2 owners for years to come. Like, it's not like it's a one and done.
No, of course not. I mean, also, if Switch 2 is really hard to get hold of, which I fully imagine it will be, because there'll be such a massive anticipation for it. I think it'd be hard to get hold of.
Do you think? I think it might be all right.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
I think it's been ready for a long time.
Yeah,
I genuinely think it's been there or thereabouts for longer than it usually would be, and what's delaying it is the launch games. I think we were all expecting this to be announced last year, last year, and for it to now be a year later and for it still not to even be announced is quite mad, really. But
I honestly wonder if it was another, or either plans changed at Nintendo, which they, fair enough. Like, especially the economy and how everything was going last year, as opposed to this year, which is going to be fine, obviously.
Yeah, it's going to be so good this year.
But also, they have in the past got pissed off when rumours are spreading, and they've just gone, right, well, fuck it, we're not going to do it for a while.
Well, that's been the sort of rumour. That was never official, though, was it? I suppose,
that was people making stuff up and then they're not being true. Oh, well, they must have changed their plans, or they're punishing me personally. No, but I think I can probably say now, we'll get onto predictions in a bit. My prediction about the Switch 2 was based on things I'd heard, which at the time I thought, is this Dave planting stuff with people I know? Because that's where we are with our friendship now, Dave. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've done it before. I did it for E3, remember?
Yeah, exactly. But I'd heard, but I then heard similar things from someone else who I don't think knows you at all. So I was like, oh shit, maybe that is
they know me
real then.
If they know you, they know me, mate. But let's fight. Well, I was thinking today actually. Oh shit! Like the Nintendo, we've covered the full generation of a Nintendo platform now. We've done it if any platform. No, not any platform. We covered the full length of the Stadia, but we for Nintendo we've done the full Switch, which is crazy. And I'm there is no better time in video game podcasting than a release of a new Nintendo console, because they are the most insane company. They make the wildest decisions, and it's just relentlessly fun to try and guess which way they're going to go next.
Yeah, even when the announcement was like, okay, so what does that really mean?
Yeah, it would not surprise me if the announcement has nothing to do with any of the links we've seen, and it's completely different. You just go, yeah, Nintendo, sure.
Yeah, Nintendo put out loads of fake components.
We said backwards compatible. Psych.
This is what makes me laugh. All the leaks we've seen about, here's a bit of a Joy-Con, but curiously only from one or two angles, whatever. I see those things, and obviously it's exciting. Like, I hope some of it's real or whatever. But part of me's like, if I had a 3D printer, would you not just be like, yeah, I'll just print something and take some pictures? Why not?
Do you remember that before, like with the original Switch? There was all those like images of like that, that unit.
Yeah, like an eyeball,
edge to edge screen, and people were like, "Look, you can see in the background the shadow of a tree."
Oh, yeah, now we think it's this Ubisoft
we think it's something. Yeah. We think it's this developer, that's like this. It's great. That.
All right.
Okay.
That's it for that news story.
So the next news story is that there's more rumours about Half-Life 3, and this is because Mike Shapiro, who's the voice of G-Man, he put out a tweet which said, "Another year already, good to see and hear from many of you. May the next quarter century deliver as many unexpected surprises. As did the millennium's first. Then again, time is fluid like music. See you in the new year." And then he did like #Valve, #Half-Life, #G-Man, and #2025. And so, yeah.
The new Half-Life's coming out. Hashtag.
Or is it?
It's the reason that the reason people are excited about this is because he doesn't tweet like ever, like really. So this was like a sort of thing.
A lot
like,
of people
is
stop
this
tweeting.
like? Well, that's actually true.
Yeah, he's massive on Blue Sky.
If this is legit, then what a cynical way of doing it.
I was going to say, that to me, that just reads like he's just having a bit of fun with his most well-known, one of his most well-known characters or whatever. Like,
yeah, it means nothing.
He's just enjoying himself.
Matt, you were getting excited for the Game Awards.
Yeah, because the same thing happened every year. All the rumours, all this, all that, and it didn't happen, did it?
Honestly, I just think if it is legit and it gets announced this year, then what a shit way of sort of teasing it. It's like, I think that. It's like, shut up. Just do it the Rockstar way and just post up like either a poster or a trailer out of nowhere. It's just so much better.
It's got us talking about it, so it's clearly working.
Shut up, Matt.
I mean, I'm excited for a new Half-Life game, actually.
The problem is, because Valve are so fucking weird, like, they brought out a new game, in beta or whatever last year, Deadlock, in just the weirdest way possible. They did no marketing for it. I don't even know how it initially appeared in people's accounts or whatever, but it was just, it's like, if you know someone who's playing it, they can probably get you a beta key or whatever. And it just sort of spread like that with no official acknowledgement or anything. So I can see why people grab onto weird little nothing.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want because people are like, Valve,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully there's another Half-Life game. It won't be Half-Life 3, but whatever it is, I'll be there, obviously. I mean, I love Alex. I know we've discussed that. You say, that wasn't a real one because it was still niche in VR, but Alex was amazing. I'm up for whatever we do next. Obviously, I love that documentary, that, the Half-Life anniversary one that Daniel Dwyer did back in last year. That was really good. And there's teasers in about the future of Half-Life and what they want to do, and things aren't over.
Doesn't Gabe basically say, like, we're not doing Half-Life 3 because there isn't like a good enough reason? Like,
he was that was what
haven't
annoyed
yet found
me
it
when I watched that, because he was just like, there's not a good enough reason for to showcase new technology, and it's like, please, can you just do the story then? Like, it's like, can we just continue that?
Just make a good game.
Yeah, it's fine. But there you go.
Yeah, but that documentary is fascinating. Everyone should watch that. It's really, really good.
Oh,
well.
So, final story. Everyone here has seen Sonic 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, so
I've seen it.
So apparently, Jim Carrey was speaking with Japan today, and he said that
With Japan.
with Japan today, Matt.
In one go.
Oh, Japan today.
And he said that he was definitely open to returning for Sonic 4, which has already
Of course he
been
will.
greenlit.
You saw how much it made. How much that fucking film made.
Good, because he was amazing in Sonic 3, and he's best thing about the movies. So yeah, hell yeah.
In it. I had a lot of opinions about Sonic 3, but I think he's fantastic in it.
It's a fucking weird film.
It's a very weird film.
Really weird film.
Yeah.
But then they all are really. I don't know why we're surprised by that anymore. The second film turns into a poor version of Bridesmaids for a bit.
So weird.
The first film is probably the most logical of the three, but I'm all for it really. I come out of those films going, that was really fun actually. I quite like that, and I will go and watch another one of those. I'm not going to watch it again, but I will watch.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Fun movie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey had a good time. Do you want me to read what he said about it?
Yeah, please.
Do you want a quote from Jim Carrey? Yes, I do.
Yeah, he said, I certainly love this crew. I love this gang that makes these movies, and I love the fans. There's a lot of really great energy around it, great responses, and the fans jump in and say, how about if you do this? They've been super helpful. I think we're all making this movie together. There you go.
Never listen to Sonic fans, Jim.
Yeah.
Never listen to Sonic fans. What if Amy was naked? No, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, well, we enjoyed the film over the Christmas period. Is that it for the news, Jim?
That is it for the news, this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, before we get to what you've been playing, I think it's time for our predictions. Are you ready? I just had a thought.
Can I just go to the bathroom? Please?
Perfect. Yes, you can.
James,
Yeah.
Leaves a week.
Okay, I'll
I
be
need
back
to
in a
write
second.
down our names and put them in a bowl.
Oh, shit.
I forgot we pull them out of the hat.
The admin.
Shit, where's the... Have I got any paper?
How's it going, chat? You all right? You having a good new year? Or what you've had of it so far? I went back to work today, which, I'm aware having Christmas off is a privilege. But, fucking hell.
Tough to go back, innit? Tough going back.
I fucking hate it. I didn't even, get, just scanning through emails and stuff. Like, yeah, okay, no bombs went off while I was off. Fine. And then just, I don't...
Yeah, I went back last week. But,
Did you?
Yeah, I went back last week as well.
Oh, shit.
I honestly, I'm
You
kind of
had
glad to go
take
back.
leave last
Honestly,
week, I assume, right? Didn't you have to take leave?
Yeah.
It's 2 normal working days. Yeah, Joe used up all my leave, so I had to cancel the days off that I had at the end of last week.
actually, I'm also going over quick.
Quick wank.
Wank.
That's a yes.
Right. Names. You are Sean Bell.
What's up? Sorry, you're very quiet when
You
you're
are
away
Sh-
from the...
Oh, sorry, I
microphone.
said you
Sorry.
are Sean Bell.
Yes. Any other
I'm David.
questions?
No, that should do it. James. And Matt. Our Matt, not the other Matt from the other
Not the other
gaming
Matt Murray.
podcast. Not the
Also
other Matt
a
Murray from the
podcaster.
other gaming podcast. Okay. Christ, takes me back to before Christmas. Step into Christmas, forever and ever. Step
Sorry,
into
Cammy.
Christmas.
I completely...
What was that?
I mean, I asked the chat how they were all doing, and Cammy said, I've got my cock in my hand and I'm ready to fucking rock.
Okay.
And I didn't want you thinking I'd ignored that because I was being a prude. I just genuinely didn't see it. But I have now.
Ban him.
Banned.
Okay, right. Okay, let me get this thing up. Right. Okay, is that it for the news, James?
That is it for the news.
We'll do that again. Okay, is that it for the news, James?
Yep, it's all done. That's it this week.
Okay, good. Then it's all done. All finished
It's all
now.
done.
Time for bed now.
we got through it. It's done.
We did
It's
get
just-
we did get
James has
through
done his bit. Time for bed.
Yeah.
Right, are you ready to hear our predictions from last year for what we thought was going to happen in
No.
2024?
I mean, I'm not getting anything.
I don't
as
remember.
usual, so-
Well, good. I'm glad you said that, Sean, because you're going first.
Hey.
Here's Sean's first prediction. Are you ready?
I predict when the Switch 2 will be revealed this year. I don't think that's a secret. I think it's going to have a second removable screen.
Oh, my industry friends told me that
I've been
was
told
not gonna
things.
happen. My industry friends. Oh, Scrabbles. Right.
No, it wasn't actually.
Okay, all right. Saving his ass. No points. Nil points for
I know what
Sean.
one of Sean's is going to be for 2025.
Okay.
We go again.
It's got one screen actually.
Second prediction. You don't remember any of these?
No, I remember one more of them. Yeah.
Okay. It's
Oh no, I
probably
remember.
this one.
No, I remember the one of them now. Go on.
Okay.
James Farley starts an OnlyFans where all he does is he posts tasteful selfies and keeps journal of his daily sort of mundane activities, initially as a joke, but very quickly the money's just too good for him to quit it, and it becomes a long-term thing.
Should have done that.
Yeah, that was such an easy one,
Good
James.
I'm
idea.
surprised you
You
didn't.
would help Sean. But
Extra cash there. Still nil points for Sean. Last prediction.
slip between all fours as well.
Nintendo announces the Game Boy OLED along with the reissue of original physical Game Boy games.
But didn't. Then you berated the chat because someone said analog pocket, and you went, "Oh yeah, I've got one. That's not what I mean." So 0 points.
Still
for
think it's a
Sean.
good idea.
There was a reason why I started with you, Sean, mainly because
Just get it out of the way.
no, it's great hearing your reaction to everyone else's. For some reason, you have an interesting reaction to most of these, not all of them, but most of these you can hear you in the background at the end of all of them. And it made me laugh every
What is
time.
he? Is he just like bullshit? And stuff
Yeah,
like that?
wanker.
It's all right. Okay, so we're going to do me next. This was my first prediction.
Microsoft will team up with a third party to release a handheld gaming device.
I mean, you know, they did tweet out about 8 gaming devices with "this is an Xbox" on it.
Yeah,
but
I was
don't
gonna
think that quite counts.
Apple?
No
No.
points. No points there. Right, next one.
Okay. Metroid Prime 4 out in 2024.
Ooh.
Oh.
No points for that one, I'm
No.
afraid. And my last one.
Mini Nintendo 64 announced.
Ooh.
Look, it sounds weird
Ooh.
when you play them back to back.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
can we do that? Hey, can we do that this year?
Yeah.
When someone says a prediction, can you go "all" at the end of all of them? Right, just so when we play, we forget that joke for the whole year, and then when we play it next year, it's you doing that at the end of everyone.
Well, like, why did Sean do that?
Don't know.
No points for me this year, as usual. Matt, you're up next. Are you ready?
Yeah.
New Halo announced this year, not developed by 343.
I think that's
Now.
a point.
Yeah, because they renamed the studio.
So it's definitely not going to be 343, and they said they're working on a new Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't have that because it's like
Oh.
they didn't show anything or anything.
Well, they did.
Nothing
They
at all.
literally
They just said that's ridiculous. That's like just saying like Nintendo are working on a Mario game, and it's like, of course
Yeah,
they
but
are.
if they'd shown it,
that's different, because we said the reason why you could have that was because we didn't believe it would be made by anyone but 343. It's not being made by 343.
Where's that? I don't even remember that being
yeah,
announced.
yeah, but no, because they renamed the studio,
changed
didn't
it.
they,
Then
to Halo
343 doesn't
Studios?
exist anymore. They changed the name.
Yeah, it's
What's it
Halo
called?
Studios now.
To Halo Studios.
And they showed like
they've rebadged
Right.
it.
The thing
That's all
is,
that's
the only reason, like, I see where James is coming from. The only reason he's arguing is because he's thinking he might still actually be getting some points here, and he doesn't want.
yeah,
Matt getting a leg
I
up.
think there's a point.
I think the three of us need to vote on whether Matt gets a point. I'm going to
I know
vote that he
James.
does get a point. James?
Okay, I'm going to vote he gets a point. There you go.
All right, okay, then.
Democracy
That was
wins
easy.
again.
Oh, I thought that'd be harder. Brilliant.
That's weird.
Could have voted against
What's
it.
the point? Sean's just going to vote yes anyway.
You
so
don't know
it's
what
like,
Sean's gonna
It
say.
is more fun if Matt gets a point. For
I do, but also, I think it is a pretty accurate prediction. I think it's right. What he said is right. There's a new Halo game coming. It's not being made by 343.
No, it's been made by the same
yeah,
people.
but
It's
the,
like
Not free-
the spirit
not-
of what Matt was saying was that it would be a different team.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
not-
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
actually.
like it was
No,
like-
but that's
like it was being made like by Epic or something like that. And it's
Well,
like,
he
I
gets the
wouldn't have-
point because you voted
yeah.
for him to get a point.
All
so
right,
you can't
fine,
vote
whatever.
that in
Thanks, James.
now. Okay,
Fine.
right. Next prediction, Matt.
PlayStation announces a full 3D non-VR Astrobot platformer.
Fucking yes.
That is nailed on. That's 2
Yep.
points for Matt.
yeah.
Can he make it a hat trick? A
No.
Matt trick?
A Don
Okay,
Matrick.
this year there'll be an Ocarina of Time remake announced.
Okay, not
Oh,
all
well,
three,
I tried.
but that's
I mean, I'd
pretty
never
damn
get a
good.
point, so that's about my
I think
best ever year.
you're going to win this time, Matt. I think because I don't
Don't think I
remember.
will.
I don't remember what mine were. And
Well, let's
Don't
find
think I
out
will.
what they were, James.
Okay.
Here we go. This is what you said back in January 2024.
Okay, I think that at some point this year, Microsoft are going to announce that all their games are going multi-platform.
it's annoying,
Now,
isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it? Because when they started, you have to remember, listeners, there was no indication that any games were coming multi-platform from Microsoft at that time. There was just no indication of it. And if I think we instantly said absolutely no way. And throughout the year, I've been thinking, well, that's technically a point for James. I mean, it's close enough. But I don't know, man. That was a very...
Do we do half points? I can't remember.
We don't do half
We don't
points.
do half-
Every year you ask for half points, and every year I say
It makes
absolutely
things
no.
easier. I have
We're
to
not
get off the fence now, Dave. I don't like getting off.
Yeah, this is definitely half point territory because they have said there was always the case by case basis line, but now it feels like it's everyone.
They don't know
Yeah, but
what
no,
they're
it
doing.
doesn't feel
It's
like
just-
it's
Well, they
everyone.
did say there's no
loads of
red
games
line.
that they
didn't
haven't.
they? That
No
was
red
it.
line, yeah.
No red line.
Yeah, but there's loads of games that haven't done that, and they haven't announced that all Microsoft games are coming out multi-platform.
They haven't. No, they just said nothing is off the table.
Okay, Matt, does he get a point? Or does he not get a point?
I think it's closer to a point than not a point. This is a perfect case for a half point, honestly. But
Don't do it.
I'm gonna say no.
Fuck you, Matt.
Ooh, I'm gonna say yes. Sean?
I'm also going to say yes.
Oh, James gets a point. James
Yeah.
gets a point.
Cool.
Okay. I'm regretting saying yes now, actually. I thought you were going to say no and be the bad guy, Sean. But
Don't you say yes?
That's not how this
James,
works.
here's your second one.
Okay, Jeff Keighley will announce a partnership with Phil Spencer for an Xbox-focused Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen with that one. That was way off base there, James. And your final one?
Sony aren't going to release a single first-party PSVR 2 game this year.
And they didn't.
No, that's not true.
They
That's
did.
not
It's true.
They did. No, they did one.
No,
they
they
did.
did.
They didn't. What did they do?
Yeah, my first
Do you know
Gran
how-
Turismo,
Oh, fuck off.
What do you mean, fuck off?
which
They
is a
did?
terrible name, isn't it? But yeah, my first Gran Turismo is it's VR.
Well,
That's,
VR,
but that's
right?
not a VR focused game though. That's
Well, hang on.
It's not what you said.
No,
oh whatever. Okay,
it's a first party Sony title with VR.
Well done, Matt. You win.
Hey, James, Matt was so excited to send me that. Look, they've announced this for VSVR 2.
Yeah,
It
where was
counts,
that?
it counts.
2 months ago.
It's a
And you're like
first party.
noted.
And then when I was thinking about it today, when I was listening back to the predictions and stuff, I just thought, did that come out? Because I didn't see a single thing about it.
Yeah, it did come out.
It's such a bad name. My first Gran Turismo. That's terrible.
It makes it sound like
Your
it's
mate-
like a kid's game or something.
Yeah, like a Fisher Price.
Yeah.
Like
Have you seen
Which
the
I would
artwork
play,
to it, Sean?
by the way.
Sean, have you seen the artwork to it?
No, it was bad.
It's even worse. Like the My First is a different font and off to one side. It's
So-
really, really, really bad.
This is another one where I should have been more specific in the sense of just like saying they won't release a single like PSVR 2 only game.
It looks
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, I know. It does look
It
fake.
looks
It does
made up.
I know. It's absolutely
Wow.
dreadful. The way they've just put My First at the start.
Yeah.
It just kind of
like
came out with
Ariel.
no fanfare. It's like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, just what? Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway,
No.
Matt, you're the official winner of the predictions for 2024. Well done. This is the
Goddamn.
first thing you've won ever, I think. Isn't
yeah,
it?
first and my first points ever as well. So call me Matradamus. Is what I'm
You've
saying.
been working.
I won't be doing that.
Yeah, he was sitting on that. Yeah.
No,
That's a point taken away.
Shame.
I will say this: I went through the leftovers that we had of last year's predictions, and where we went, oh, I was going to do this, I was going to do that. There wasn't much
I wasn't there.
going on,
I thought, oh yeah.
except for this one, which kills me actually.
I should have really gone with this, actually. We won't know the name of the new Nintendo console by the end of the year.
Damn.
And can I say, right, without bigging myself up it, that was such a fucking mad prediction because everyone thought it was being announced March last year. At that point, everyone thought that the announcement was imminent, and it wasn't. There was just something about it for me that I was thinking it's going to be one of those things where they might show bits of it at the end of the year, but not talk about the name or go into detail.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it killed me. Instead, I went for Microsoft handheld. Fuck off, David. Right, should we do our predictions for 2025?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find it harder to think of these? Are predictions getting harder? Asks Man on Podcast. Is what I'm thinking. It's like,
It
I
did.
struggled because partly because we've always said we don't really do like negative ones, right? And yet so much games news has been negative over the last 2 years now. Like it's just been closures left, right, and centre, redundancies, etc., etc. And it's like it's quite difficult to think outside of that box now. I find.
Yeah. Well, I did find that once I started thinking of them, I just couldn't stop. And I had an absolute punch in the gut this week, like a total slap in the face. Genuinely, one of my big three was Power Wash Simulator gets Wallace and Gromit DLC. I thought that was fun because I thought it was believable, but it would never have just be randomly predicted. Like I thought it was a really solid prediction, and then they went and fucking announced it last week. I was absolutely gutted, like genuinely gutted. Someone sent me a message on Blue Sky. So, Dave, have you seen this? And I looked at it and I was like, oh, the DLC, if you're to... Oh, for fuck's sake. I was so upset. If they'd just done it a week after, that's it. That would have looked like one of the best predictions ever. And a fucking absolute kill at that.
I had one. I wrote it down. And I... and then I thought, I better look this up because it feels like something that may have already happened. There's been a lot of chat this week about, oh, your fucking toaster's going to have AI in it and all that shit again. And so I wrote down as a prediction, there'll be like a stupid news story about someone playing Xbox Cloud stuff on their fridge. Happened 4 years ago.
oh dear.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Good. The first one to predict, and we're going to take it in turns. It's James Farley. What's your first prediction for 2025?
Okay, I'm going to predict that Microsoft are going to announce the launch of Xbox hardware partners, which will allow other companies to manufacture Xbox consoles. And yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's not too dissimilar to my one last year, is it?
No, you're talking about handhelds. I'm talking about the fact that they're going to just open up the entire thing so that anybody can produce Xbox consoles instead. A bit like the 3DO.
Which was a massive success. So
It makes me feel a bit dirty letting this one through, doesn't it? It's really similar to my one.
All right, no, it's not. How is it similar to your one?
No, because yours is a handheld. This is about a third party. This is like a contracting
this is
OEMs to make devices, isn't it?
This is basically saying that they're kind of giving up on producing hardware themselves, and they're asking for other companies to make them instead.
Anyone can make an Xbox.
Yeah, if
That-
you
I
license it.
I think it should go through because I think it's mad.
Yeah, because right now anything is an Xbox.
Okay.
So why would they? What's the benefit of someone making an Xbox?
Yeah.
Why would like Lenovo or ROG saying we're making an Xbox? Well,
Yeah, it's
Microsoft
true.
wasn't
It's not
selling
like it's not
Xboxes.
like
What are
the
you
brand
gonna
is
do?
gonna
Yeah, you're
sell
gonna
more,
be
is it?
seeing like Asus Xboxes. You're gonna be seeing Gold Star Xboxes.
Yeah, no, I think
you know.
you're right. The
Gateway
last thing,
Xboxes.
The last thing
Alba.
Microsoft want at the moment is more hardware.
Yeah, so I think you have that. That's great.
Yeah, okay. All right, you're right. You've swayed me.
Yeah.
You've
charmed me.
Okay. Next prediction is from Sean Bell.
Hello. I think Tencent are going to announce that they are launching a console.
Oh,
Oh.
the only thing holding me back on that is that we've spoken about that on this very podcast.
That's what gave me the idea.
Great idea by me. And so one that's going to be available worldwide.
Yes. I'm just,
Hang on.
no, it's an interesting point. But for the fun of the bet, I'm going to say yes.
See, that's interesting because I can see that happening, but it only being in China, like for it to begin with. So if you're saying it's worldwide, I think I can go with that.
Yeah, I think China only is a bit too easy, isn't it? I think it has to be worldwide.
Okay.
Yes, do that. I like that. Dave's busy.
I'm busy because I'm looking through the WhatsApp group to see if I said it first.
I don't. I think that was a Sean thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Oh, also, even if you had said it first, Sean's got it in.
Yeah,
got
he said
picked
it.
out first. So
You're willing to let him have that? I think.
yeah, could it be interesting? I can't. It's not going to happen worldwide.
No.
Okay.
I can't see it happening, but it's
So
interesting.
say that again. So what's the prediction?
So Tencent are going to announce that they are launching a games console worldwide.
Okay. Thanks. That makes it easy. And we've already forgotten to do the
I know.
thing.
Yeah, sorry.
That's absolutely going. Matt, you're next, mate.
GTA 6 delayed till 2026.
No, you're not having that. It's not interesting enough at all.
Yeah, sorry.
Also, it's very likely, I think.
Okay. Kojima Productions get the license to work on a new Metal Gear game.
Good prediction, that one.
Yeah,
Now
you
we're
could-
talking.
You can have that one because that is
sincere one. I
never
didn't do
going to
that
happen.
on purpose. That was a genuine. Ooh, that was.
Yeah, I'd love that. No, that'd be a really interesting one. I like that prediction. That's better. Not the GTA delay. Come on.
I think it's. I found it hard to think of them wild ones or good ones, but there you go.
You're better than that. Right. Okay, right. My first prediction is both Matt and James will own a PS5 Pro by the end of the year.
That might be too obvious.
Yeah, come on.
Not both of them. Come on, Sean. Both of them.
If one of us breaks, the other one will
James
break
was already
though.
getting one because let's face it, that's just inevitable. Matt
It's
was
not
like, I
happening.
need to sort out the job situation first, and he now,
Okay.
fingers crossed, has.
Yeah.
What was that, James? What did you say?
It's not happening.
It's not happening, Sean.
No.
I got to be given this prediction now.
Yeah.
He
James
always
himself
says that,
is saying
Dave.
it's
You
not.
know he always says that. And it's always bollocks.
Okay, but
Yeah,
he has
James.
said it's not.
James, it will happen.
I did see a discounted one the other day, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
How
Right,
much?
Listen, it's up to you.
640. It's still
up
too
to you
expensive.
three. It's up to you three.
All I'll say is, James, if you buy one, you have given Dave the point, and you'll have to live with that.
Okay, I'm totally happy with that. I mean, I'm happy with letting him have it because
I gave him a point earlier. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's what's more likely to happen, Sean. He buys one and doesn't admit it until 2026.
That would be brilliant. That would be funnier. He may already have one. Can you imagine that?
oh, this whole thing.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, James, I love this game. I'm getting 900 frames. What, on PS5, yeah. Get an 8K on this.
Am I getting that prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I also get one? Does that nullify it?
Yes,
No,
it does.
No, you two need to. You're not getting one, Sean. You've got some sense about you, mate.
No, I want one of their second-hand Normal PS5s.
I was saying like to a friend the other day, like it's so, even for me, it's so pointless to get a Pro. Like it's not like any reviews that say, look, if you've got the money, they're super worth it. It's not even that. They're like, it's kind of, but GTA 6 might be the thing that breaks me.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, if anything would, it would be that.
And
true. I mean,
James will look at his
imagine-
big pool of money in the corner of his room and just go, "Oh fuck it."
But imagine
Worth
if
it.
it's like GTA 6 is like 30 frames on everything else and 60 on PS1
Wow,
Pro.
yeah.
God, that is a
Almost certainly
fucking
what's gonna
good
happen.
point, actually.
Yeah.
That could be a great prediction, actually.
Shit, that is actually that's a killer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might get one. Okay. No, right. Okay. So I've got that. I've got that prediction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Sean,
Yeah.
James is going to do the maths about selling one, and it would be like, oh, it's only £300 actually. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, what's show you
okay.
PS5? We'll see.
I'm not
What is
flying
that?
to Germany to pick it up, James. You got to bring it. In.
He's not bringing it. Chen will bring it. Yeah, do that and leaving his house.
James.
Xbox are going to drop the Series S requirement for new games this year.
Well, hang on. I wasn't that. Oh no, I didn't actually go for it last year, did I? It was one of my maybes last year.
It was one of your maybes last year. Yeah. I do feel uncomfortable about you taking one of Sean maybes from last year and using it this
Yeah.
year.
He was off cuts, yeah.
Don't even remember that, but yeah.
I know you don't, but that is the situation.
So that really would be the end of the whole, like, oh, look, cheap console. Oh, I haven't, sorry, requirements. So, like, you're saying, because obviously, it's, you know, that, we had, like, the Baldur's Gate issue where it's delayed because of,
Yeah.
so you're saying it could come out on X, it could come out on S later, it's not like a day and date thing and all
Yeah.
different features.
The developers can just target like Series X if they want, and they don't have to.
I would say it
do
doesn't work on S at all.
Yeah, they don't have to do a Series S version.
Isn't it
that would be
interesting, though,
such
that,
a
like,
shit move. That.
The whole Baldur's Gate 3 thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, this is it now. That's the floodgates have opened. Like, developers will start sacking off the S, or in terms of like certain features or whatever." It hasn't, to
Just
my
didn't happen,
knowledge,
no.
hasn't
No, no.
really happened.
hasn't happened.
The reason I also
Yeah,
say
'cause-
this is because of the Xbox hardware partners prediction as well, because no one's going to be producing a Series S. Like,
No, I see. Because I think the way they'll go around it is that it still works on the. I think if they do it, the way they'll get around it is go. No, it still works on Series S through cloud gaming. You know what I mean? Like that's what they'll say, isn't it?
Because I think like the developer from like Black Myth Wukong mentioned it only the other day, didn't they? What wasn't?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just said it
or
was.
it's
he
ready
just-
on X, but
Yeah, he just said it was a complete nightmare to try and get it on Series S. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So let's vote on whether he gets it. I'm going to say no, based on the fact that it was Sean's last year.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
no.
no.
Then.
all right, can I have Microsoft will add Copilot to Game Pass
He
Ultimate?
fucking hates Microsoft, doesn't he?
No, this is
oh
the
God, he
but no,
really
this
does,
is
yeah.
this is the thing, right? Because I was looking through like all these predictions and stuff, and I was like, they are the only company that does anything that's kind of weird and interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like no one else does. It's like so.
Nintendo, what?
Well, it's what's coming with that. But with Xbox, like the last couple of years, it's been a wild ride of just like of craziness.
It has actually,
and it's
yeah.
it's like it's easy to come up with stuff.
Copilot. What? So what?
That's
what's
an
that
AI
doing?
thing. That's an AI kind of assistant.
Yeah.
James
We
is going
just
to
got
die.
a few coughs there from James.
Sorry, James.
Hold on. Yeah, let's just have a little break.
He's
Sorry.
alive. He's alive.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is something down the wrong hole, or
Yeah.
Were you guffawing then?
No.
Okay.
yeah, Copilot is Microsoft's AI assistant type
I
thing.
think that's a bit
Yeah,
obvious.
but hold on,
isn't
that's
it?
obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at hand, so what? Add what? Is it adding it like as a ChatGPT subscription if you're Game Pass Ultimate subscriber? Is it a tiered paid subscription?
Okay, so I thought you meant like just adding it to the Xbox somehow. In,
Oh,
like, the
right, so you're
interface.
saying-
Instead of Cortana.
It'll be part of Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe we should take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't cry. It's not. It's
Good, it's not that good of a prediction.
James is crying at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So let's sum this up. You're saying that it. Oh God, he's gone again. James, do you want to stop podcasting for good?
No, I just got a cough. I can have a cough, It's allowed.
No, I feel bad for James because when this happens to me, and even when people are just trying to be nice, I'm just like, can everyone just stop perceiving me in every way for 2 minutes.
It doesn't really work when you're on a podcast, though, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. It's not a reasonable request. It's not.
Right. So,
Yeah, so
sum
what's
up
the
your
prediction,
please?
Okay, so Microsoft are going to add Copilot, but for Game Pass Ultimate. Like it'll be like it'll be like the AI stuff, but you only get it if you have Game Pass Ultimate. That'll be the
Okay,
thing.
I'm willing to let him have that.
So Copilot for Windows, but if you're a Microsoft,
No, Copilot for Xbox. It's going to be a whole thing.
I mean, yeah,
whole
you
thing,
can have
that's
that, I
the
think,
pitch.
because that sounds mad.
I think that's okay. You saying he should have it, Matt?
I'm just thinking, I don't really know what. So So what do I get?
I don't really understand.
Yeah, explain what I'm getting as a bonus. So Copilot, I know it's on Windows. It's an AI thing. How will it work on Xbox?
I don't know. I haven't come up with how it's going to work.
Would it be like you can be like, "Hey, Copilot, how do I do this bit of this game?" And it'll just fucking know because AI is the future.
Yeah, but these are stipulations that you need to put into your prediction, then. But I don't. I'm quite happy to let him have it because I think it's weird.
I think it's quite obvious though. They love folding like whatever tech they've.
Well, then,
come
Matt,
up
I
with
think
into
you've
But
got to
primarily
decide and vote.
Windows ones into. I mean, it seems
I mean,
weird.
They put Edge on your Xbox.
That is true. That is true.
But also, it's tied to the subscription as well, so you only get it if it's Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay.
Other people are not going to get it.
Okay, I mean that sounds mad. If it
Yeah, I
happens,
think
it's
that would
mad.
be
If
wild,
it doesn't
that.
happen, whatever.
That's like them saying you have to subscribe to improve the functionality of your Xbox hardware.
Exactly.
That is pretty fucking shit, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah,
alright,
that
you
would be much
can
more beneficial as a upgrade for everyone. But
Alright. Sean, your second prediction?
I think Media Molecule will announce that they are working on a new tearaway for PS5.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely have that.
Thank you.
Um,
This is mostly just like I hope they do.
yeah, just willing to manifest it, you know.
Yeah.
okay, Matt.
The Master Chief Collection to come out on PS5.
Just Shields has just posted a link in the chat.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's fine. I know, but that's they are.
Microsoft's
Go
AI
on.
will be inside Minecraft and other Xbox PC games. New Copilot features will search your inventories, offer tips and guides.
Yeah, we already knew that, but I'm saying it's going to be
not
tied to
linked
Game Pass
That's
Ultimate.
different, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's different.
So
I
it's
think that's
halfway
different.
there. Okay.
We don't do half points though, Matt.
No. I'm saying James is halfway to his prediction essentially because they've already talked about the idea of integrating it into Xbox.
Well, look, it's already been approved. Everyone's already just stop grappling at
Jay
straws,
Shell
Sean.
should have posted that link earlier then.
Yeah.
Stop grappling at straws.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted is grappling at straws.
Grappling at straws, definitely the episode title. Oh, no, it's not.
No,
Is
it's
it?
just
Shit.
2025 predictions, isn't it?
Oh no, it sucks. I hate Matt. Matt,
It's
what's
called
your,
SEO, mate.
What's your prediction again?
The Halo Master Chief Collection to be released on PS5.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
it's too obvious. It's too obvious that's going to
I think
happen.
it is too obvious at this point.
Yeah, it's
and
definitely
it's
going
too
to
much
happen.
like James's.
Is it?
Yeah, from last year.
What did you say last? Oh, about all games. Well, yeah, I'm specific. Okay, fine. Switch 2 won't be called Switch 2.
No, absolutely
No.
not. You're not having
Okay.
that because I was thinking this earlier actually. Nintendo Switch, if they did call it the Switch 2, I think it is more likely, Matt, that they'll call it the Switch 2 than another name. However, that would be the first time they've ever done that as a company, right? The closest they've come to doing
NES
that
and
is
SNES.
the new 3DS.
Yeah.
So,
But if there's ever a
would
time to
be
do it,
amazing.
this will be the time.
Someone's Phil Walls put Super Switch in the chat, and that sounds way more Nintendo than if the new 3DS was the worst naming convention. That's the worst name they've ever
Very
given
bad.
to anything. Absolutely shocking that, and I'm including the Wii U, which was absolute shit as well.
So you're saying I can't have the prediction Switch 2 won't be called Switch 2.
No.
No, I think that's no.
Okay. Oh, my most of mine is shit now. It sucks. I've gotten some negative ones, but it feels harsh, so I won't do
No,
it.
you can do it.
Well, okay, let's try this one. Sony to announce a dedicated handheld.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I think you can have that.
I think you can have it because I don't think there's any chance.
No, there were rumours actually.
Yeah,
wasn't
there were
this
rumours,
year?
but
There have been rumours.
It probably won't be a next year
there's been
thing.
news. I think we even covered it in a news story
Yeah,
that
we
they were
did.
going to
We
do
did.
this.
But even then, it said
It
it was
won't be
like 5-6 years away.
Yeah,
if
it probably
was
won't be
gonna
next year
happen.
thing.
And I think
but-
they're putting everything into PS Portal.
I was going to say the Portal seems to be doing all right. Like,
Yeah, like really well actually. Yeah, the sales were great, and it also
See,
does make sense.
I don't want to give him
PS6
this
should be a
'cause-
dual thing.
Why don't you want to give him this?
because
I
he's
wanna
going to
give
get
him
it. I think he's right. That's why.
this. Okay, good. But
No,
think
I mean,
it would be-
I
think-
actually don't think it's going to happen, but I had to think of something. It's like, it feels too soon, and also, why would you do that? It would much better to have PS6 would be a dual device. I don't know, but
when it comes
I'd
to
think of something.
these predictions, I don't think it should be based on I think that could happen. No way. I just think the idea's got to be original enough. I don't think that idea is original enough. Like saying, for
It's
example,
not-
saying the Switch 2 is not going to be called Switch 2. I don't think that's a good prediction. I think that's that's nothing there really, is it? But him saying, oh no, actually, I think if Sony announced a new standalone handheld this year, that would be big news. And I think that is a good prediction.
I agree.
It's not
James?
involving you at the moment, Matt. We're discussing what we
Also.
think should go.
Back
Yeah.
up to you.
So,
James?
No, I think
so
it's
that's-
it's just because of the fact that there was a news story which specifically said this was going to happen
yes,
that
yes,
makes it feel a bit,
yes. But I believe part of that news story was them saying also that it's years away if it does.
Yeah,
So
like
that was Microsoft.
well, no, Xbox is several years away,
Yeah.
but also I think another prediction would be that in Microsoft announce a dedicated handheld for this year. I think
just
that'd be
pointed
mad as well.
out there was also a news story about Copilot being on Xbox.
But not one about it being tied only to Game Pass Ultimate, Cammy.
whatever.
So
It's the same thing.
Okay, all right. Look, this
Okay,
is getting.
that's
Let's vote.
old.
Let's vote on Matt's prediction. James, do you want to give him it?
no, I don't.
I do. Sean.
I also do.
Oh, Matt gets it. Matt gets that prediction. Ooh. Right. Okay. There will be a new Animal Crossing announced this year.
I think you can have that because that's not going to happen. I don't think it's. I think it's incredibly unlikely. So I think you can have that.
I think I agree, yeah.
Well, that
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
matter,
hard-
Matt.
hard
What
to
you
say.
think, mate? It's already got
Fucking hell.
2 votes. The reason why I put that, and I think it is, maybe a bit of a lame one, but I just think that they're going to be really pushing to try and get people to transfer over to the Switch, the next Switch. And one of the biggest ways of doing that is to at least announce, not necessarily release, but at least announce that the new Animal Crossing is coming out for the new Switch. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm talking a mainline Animal Crossing game here, not like some sort
Not
of
mobile one.
yeah. I'm not talking about the what is it, the furniture game. Yeah, it's just put on there. Yeah,
Happy Home Designer.
yeah, that's it. James, your last prediction, please.
See, what's really annoying is the one I wanted to choose. Somebody said it in the chat, so I don't think I can say it now because they're just like, you stole that, even though it's written down on my thing.
I have to scan the chat now. What was it?
I was going to say, and I'll tell you afterwards what I was going to say. I was going to go for.
Okay.
Okay, this is a more ridiculous one potentially. Microsoft will partner with Nintendo to release their first-party games on Switch 2.
I think that's quite likely.
You think?
Well, they're already putting games on Switch. And I think the
Yeah,
only thing
Minecraft,
holding them back from
etc.
putting more games on Switch is the
Probably the power
Switch being
of the
underpowered.
Switch.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. I think that is quite likely, but it would still be a wild thing, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
no,
it
'cause
would
it's
be wild.
basically already happening.
It's not,
Sean's
is it?
being a hard ass this year.
Well, no, Minecraft's
He
on
is
there.
Putting his
Other
foot
things
down.
probably.
I mean, Minecraft always was, to be fair. That's not recent. But yeah, what was it? There was Pentiment, and then there was a few others they
Pentiment,
put
yeah.
on.
There's been
Yeah.
like two or three games that come on
Grounded.
the Switch.
Was it
I'm talking.
Grounded?
I'm talking all of their their first-party games will come to the Switch too.
All of them.
All of them.
All of the new releases will come to Switch too.
There's not many new releases.
Well, I'm
I'd be
talking.
amazed if Fable came to Switch 2 because that
Yeah,
looks
that's
like
not
it's a
gonna happen.
powerhouse game.
All Perfect Dark. Well, that'd be great on Nintendo console, wouldn't it?
Come on, then.
Yeah, I think you can have it because it suddenly sounds mad.
Yeah.
And if it happens, that's great. Yeah. So yeah, why not? You can have that.
Okay. Sean, your last prediction, please.
I'm torn between two, and one is probably a better prediction. The other one's funnier. So I'm tempted to go with the funny one.
Never failed you in the past, Sean. So
The Switch 2 will not come with a charging cable.
No, but that's too obvious. Because
No, it's not too
phones
obvious at
don't.
all.
How is that
It'd be
too
the first
obvious?
time they'd ever do
Because
that.
it's not the
No,
first time. They did it
one of the,
with the 3DS, the new 3DS.
Oh,
I think
you're
they
right.
did with.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They did. No, I can't see them doing that.
I mean, if it was a light one, like in the sense of it's like without a dock, then I could see them doing that. But if it's with a dock, they can't do that. Like, how do you?
well,
power
it
the
needs
thing?
AC power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think he can have it.
I think you can have it as well.
So
'cause-
Han, just say it again. Do you thinking Switch will come with no power cable?
Yes.
So no USB-C.
I
is
don't
what you're
actually think that. I just think it's a funny prediction.
saying. Yeah, okay, you can have that. Matt, what's your last prediction?
Well, okay, I'll say this, and you'll probably say no, but I'm gonna say, following on what we said earlier, no Switch to exclusive games.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, you can have that. I think
Yeah, you can have it.
that would be wild. That'd be what weird tactic that would be. Nintendo to launch a new console with no exclusive games.
yeah, they're not going to do that.
That's mad. Okay, I've got so many in front of me, and I don't know which one to go for. Okay, I'm going to go for Mario Galaxy 2 will be announced as an exclusive for the new Switch.
So weird how they've just been acting like that game doesn't exist.
So they will release it,
Yeah.
but you will not be able to buy it for the current Switch. You can only buy it for the new Switch, and
That
that'll
would
be
be-
the,
On the one hand, it
what's
sounds insane, but also it's so Nintendo. I think we should.
Yeah,
allow that.
exactly,
Hang
and
on, hang
that's
on.
what I was talking
Yeah.
about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Galaxy 2 Kokami, not
Is it a remake or is it just what is it that's going to get
Doesn't matter.
released?
I mean, it doesn't matter. The
Well, it
idea
I would
that
like
they
a bit more
release
clarification,
Galaxy
actually. It does
2
matter.
I think it does
the idea
matter.
that they release Galaxy 2 as an exclusive for the new console is what makes it the most Nintendo thing of all time.
Because there is
No.
no reason it couldn't run on the Switch.
I need more than that,
Exactly.
because what I could see him doing.
Well, I'm not going to give you more than that. That's my prediction.
Well-
so you're allowed to go
because-
through.
That's
don't.
all right.
well, I don't think James and I won't vote it through them.
Yeah, we're not going to because it's
But
like,
no, because I could see them. They've
That's
already
pathetic.
mentioned.
no, it's not.
They've already
because
hang
it's-
on. They've already mentioned that they're going to increase or do more with Nintendo Switch Online. Maybe as like a gift for new Switch 2 owners. What if that was like a Nintendo Switch Online exclusive for the new console? I can see them doing that.
But also, if it's a remake or a remaster, then of course it's not going to come out on the original Switch. So it's like this
Why
is
not?
why.
It's
What do you
not-
mean?
It's not like some big massive game.
No, because it could. They could. If it's a full-on remake, like 4K, the whole sort of things, it's not going to run on the original Switch. So it's
I
like
think, right, okay. Can I
Yeah.
just say, listeners, I thought that was a unique, funny, nice idea for the predictions, but James is
no,
hurt
fuck
at the
off.
moment
No,
for
fuck
some
off.
weird reason.
No, fuck off. Because the thing
He's
is with
lashing
this.
out.
No, the thing is with
He's
this, right?
flashing out.
It's
So
no-
you, Matt. Don't
you
hide
can-
behind him now.
I just wanted more detail, mate.
Exactly. You can have it if you can give us a bit more detail with it. Like,
Don't
what
give
is
me more
this
detail.
game?
I think it's funny enough as it is. The idea that they release a very old Mario game as an exclusive for the new Nintendo console is really funny to me. That would be one of those. Hold on a minute, Nintendo. What? Like you released Galaxy 1 on the Switch, and it was weird that you didn't include Galaxy 2 in that little collection of games. So why now have we got to buy a new console to play it? I thought it was fun.
Because it's a
Okay.
full-on remake or something. It could be.
Okay.
But the fact that they
that's
would have
really sad.
ignored Galaxy 2 the way they have for this long to then
Yeah.
be like, oh, we've
I've
completely
cheered on
unnecessarily
that for that.
remade it for new hardware for no reason. All
That's-
everyone wanted
see,
was
and
the
that's a-
support.
But that's a wilder prediction. If you're saying that that's what they've done, is that they've
Yeah.
it's a
You're
full-on.
doing this wrong, you two. You're doing it
If
wrong.
it's an exclusive remake, then yeah, I might be.
It's not supposed to be a gotcha. It's a fun idea that no one's thought of. It's a fun idea that no one's thought of.
It's not a fun idea. It's a shit idea. Like it's it's a terrible idea.
I won't have it then. That's an outrage. That's outrageous. That.
I hope it happens now.
Okay. Matt will make a big deal out of a follow mission in GTA 6.
What does that mean? Make a big deal. Oh, well, angry because it's in there.
I can't believe I'm following people.
But come on, we can all admit that they should
those are
probably. Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm not getting that one because it's too fucking obvious.
Well, because Matt can just choose not to do that
Yeah.
because he doesn't want you to.
I would simply choose not to be annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about this year anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
There will be a Marvel-themed Balatro rip-off game.
I feel like that. I think you can have that because I don't think they would do it because it muddies the waters with Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
So another card game that's basically Balatro, but it's so they've wholesale copied everything about
Good
it.
point,
But
Sean. I'll take that back. I won't do that one.
I think you can have that.
Yeah, I'm on it.
I think you can have. No, you've said it, so I think you can have it. Yeah, we agree.
Okay. What am I doing? Bloodborne remaster announced this year.
I mean, everyone wants it.
Everyone wants it, but then it's been another one where the silence on it has been.
But it was
Why?
featured in that video towards the end of the year where
Yeah.
it's like, oh fuck, they remember Bloodborne.
I
So
think you can have that.
Sam, so what was that again? Sorry.
Bloodborne remaster. announced this
Remaster
year.
or remake? I think that's important for something.
Oh
like this.
god, fucking hell! Does
Oh
it
no,
matter?
come on!
No,
I think
because
that-
they are
does matter.
they're very
Big-
different things.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think because we've had like the Demon's Souls
Remaster.
remake, like,
Remaster then,
remake.
if that's what you want.
Okay.
I put a
I
remake.
was gonna say, I think it's probably going to be a remake. But...
Remaster. You've taken all the fun out of this, you lot.
What, just because
No,
we
I
wouldn't
just think
agree with
in
what you
this-
said?
Yeah,
in
just
this
'cause
case,
You've
it's an interesting
misunderstood
distinction.
what makes a good prediction, James. All you've done, yeah, I think it might happen. Yeah,
No,
but
because
I
that's
mean,
bullshit. Because
They
no,
may
you have
happen.
listen. Fuck off, right? Because the thing is with this is over the years, you always are hardcore going on about how you need to have like specificity about these things,
Yeah.
and you've had none with that. That was a terrible prediction with no detail whatsoever,
which
and
one
you're
was
just
it
like,
again?
oh,
I
it's
can't remember
funny.
what it was.
Oh, it's
What was the
funny.
one that you didn't like?
What do you mean?
The Galaxy one?
Yeah, the Galaxy
Yeah,
one.
the Galaxy one. Yeah, but I don't get it. No one's spoken about Galaxy on this show for God knows how long. You've been nicking them from Sean and nicking them from the show.
Fuck
and
off.
you're going, oh,
How have I
yeah,
done
my
that?
predictions are better. You nicked Sean's
No,
one
right,
from
so
last
just-
year.
No, I didn't. It's completely different.
Just to explain myself, so I think in the case of the Galaxy one, I don't think it matters whether it's a remake or just a emulated port, whatever.
Yeah.
I think with Bloodborne, I think it's an interesting distinction between remaster and remake. But
Okay,
the
remaster,
remake was
just to
good.
get out of this fucking conversation. It kills me. This is just not a fun segment of the show anymore. If James
Because you didn't get what you want.
Yeah, it will be in a
you
year's
get what you
time
want.
when
Yeah.
we realise Galaxy is
unique,
exclusive.
fun idea. Right.
No one else has done game predictions.
Yeah, no one's done this, and
No one's thought about this format.
No, my prediction was a unique, fun idea, not the concept of making predictions. Jack.
David, if I'd have
Once
said
again,
that,
you've misunderstood.
no, if I'd have said that, you'd have been like, no, you need to be more specific about that. You need to, but no,
I would have found it funny and gone.
no,
well
you
done,
wouldn't.
mate.
No, you wouldn't.
Don't talk to me
wouldn't.
about specific. I gave you a point for saying that all Microsoft games will be announced as multi-platform.
Yeah, and
this
I
year.
thank you for that. That's nice.
Yeah, but that wasn't very specific, was it?
that's
So,
over now.
already happened. So it's you know.
Absolute. It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. And I backed you up for that one about the AI being on Xbox when there's already articles about it. Apparently,
not tied to
Shame,
Game
innit?
Pass, but
shame,
yeah.
innit? Right, okay, well I've got your number for the game of
already
the year show.
already
Oh, you're in
decided.
trouble.
Oh
You're
no,
in
oh
trouble.
no, you're just gonna do another like deal with Sean. I'm really scared.
I
Go on.
didn't do any deals with me.
I just told Sean how it was going to play out, and it did. So the letter.
Yeah. And also,
He
James,
just
you want to
told
talk.
me what was
David's like,
gonna happen, it
oh,
wasn't a deal.
yeah. David said to you, oh, pick an alarm clock, James. Pick the alarm clock, James.
Yeah.
You're in cahoots with him as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, he
said
doesn't
that.
have any original ideas, Matt. That's the problem. He's got to take all his best ideas. Right. Do you want to hear the ones that didn't quite make it for me?
Yeah, I've got a couple as well. Go on.
I've got Shigeru Miyamoto steps down from his current role at Nintendo.
Too painful.
So-
I can't.
Also, what is his current role?
Yeah, that's it. I
couldn't tell you what that is. Have a look at his LinkedIn.
I just think it would they not necessarily retired, but his role would have changed, and they would have made a big thing of it. Switch 2 launches with no Mario games. I'm glad I didn't choose that. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote that. There will be a GTA parody game in GTA 6. So I even had it in my head. There'll be a mission where you're creeping up on a Twitch streamer, and he's doing role playing GTA, but it's called something else, right?
See, that's a good one. You should have done that.
No, it's not a good one, is it? Because I don't even know if GTA 6 is coming out this year. And Nintendo Air Fryer.
I mean, what's next after the alarm clock?
I'd have one.
All the coin sounds when the chips are done.
So I had two others. One went on the no pile as soon as I thought of the Switch 2 doesn't come with a charger one. But I was going to say the Switch 2 Joy-Con sticks use Hall sensors because they don't want that controversy again. I reckon they might be too cheap. I reckon they might be too cheap to fucking.
What sensors?
The Hall effects. Yeah,
Hall effect sensors.
I thought James came over last week and said that's confirmed.
Oh,
not confirmed, but it is like
what's this, James?
It's heavily like rumored from the mock-ups and stuff.
I didn't read that one out.
Yeah.
My other one was that I think Netflix will pull out of their whole mobile gaming thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's being used much. Can you? Maybe I'm like way off base.
They don't really publicise it very. There's been some fucking great games on there, and they don't seem to shout about it very much.
Case of the Golden Idol. Get on it.
And they're already saying, "Oh, we're gonna get fucking AI to do everything." So when that doesn't work out,
I think that'll happen. I think you're right.
I had boring ones. Clifford B to come back to games.
James would love that. He's a big fan of.
I would love it if that happened. Yeah.
I had a bit of a negative one, but I was going to say Everwild to be cancelled.
There released some screenshots of that.
Oh, did they? Okay, well, that's good.
From it.
Good.
It might not mean anything, but...
And Phil Spencer leaving Xbox, but I think we said that every year for the last 3 years.
I had that down as well. I said he's going to leave Xbox by the end of the year.
I thought that was a 2024 one for me, but no, it was 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. 2023 one for you.
Still.
I mean, I didn't say
specific.
I didn't say Microsoft would buy Sega. Could we have a recap on all of them? Because I want to know. Did you?
No, hang on. I just want to say the other one.
Write them down. I listen to them in a year's time and have to piece it together again.
Okay. Well, give me a recap. Give me a recap of what you remember, David. No, sorry.
The one I had written down here that was also in the chat was Arms 2 will be a launch game for the Switch 2.
Ooh.
But
no chance. They're not bringing Arms 2 back.
No, probably not.
That was a failure.
I mean, you should have said no. It's called Legs. Like that's the sequel. That would be funnier.
With a Z.
Yeah, Legs.
I'd know Mario Kart 9 this year. That's not going to happen. But
see, I think Mario Kart 9 might happen this year, actually, towards the end of the year. I don't think it'll be a launch game. Yeah. But I think Christmas, I could see that. Yeah. The other one I didn't put down...
just before we get to the next one, what makes you, and I'm just interested, what makes you think it's more likely that it'd be like, say, Mario title launch and Mario Kart at Christmas, not the other way around? Or you... Because for me, I think like Christmas feels like a Mario 3D... That feels like a 3D Mario time, but Mario Kart could be a great day one.
I see it the other way around. I see. Look, it's an expensive. It's going to be an expensive console. It's not going to be cheap. I think heading into Christmas with a Mario Kart game, which is a game that people see as a family experience, I think that is more of a Christmas game than a solo single-player Mario 3D game. I think when it comes to Mario 3D games for the next Switch, I think we will see Odyssey 2. I really see that happening.
Yeah, lots of people love Odyssey, and it did some mad stuff, didn't it? So
yeah, whether it would be a launch game, I don't know. In fact, actually, I think launching without a Mario game is not out of the question. I think launching with some. I mean, you look at the launch lineup for the Nintendo Switch; it wasn't great, other than the greatest game of all time. It wasn't like, and that was cross-platform. You know,
because you forget like. Yeah, when the Switch was in its infancy and everyone was going on about it being a really good place for indies because visibility was really good, was because there was fuck all else on it for a while.
Yeah,
It
there
was
was
just,
nothing.
I want more games. to
I'll
play on
never
this
forget that
fucking console.
image they put out where it was like, look at all the games coming, and we looked at them and went, fuck, that's really sparse over the next 6 months. There's like nothing.
Yeah, the launch window is massive.
One of them was like Lego City Undercover again. You know, it was like
Yeah.
And that couldn't fit on a Wii U, right? It couldn't fit on one of the models, right?
Oh, that's right, because it was it was fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
well,
I
that
fit
was
on
Wii
the?
U, but we're talking about the Switch. But like the thing with the launch of the Switch was that there was even like you go, no one knew how good Zelda was going to be, so the build up to it was like, okay, they got Zelda, but Zelda, and you know, Zelda wasn't the height of gaming at that point. It was we didn't know that this was going to be the best game ever made, and even when it launched, there was a little bit of a, are you justifying your purchase? It wasn't until it was like, no, this really is one of the best. And then you had like, what? Oh yeah, everyone was like going, well, yeah, we're getting a Splatoon 2, but that looks exactly like Splatoon 1. We're getting Mario Kart, which is the same Mario Kart as what we've been playing. You know, there was a lot of negativity towards the launch lineup or the launch period of Nintendo Switch. So I think this will start slow and then pick up. I do. And I think if there is a Mario Odyssey 2 and if there is a Mario Kart 9, I don't think they'll be there for launch. I really don't.
What I'm thinking now is like we've had the rumors for a while about the Wind Waker remake, and we've had other Zelda rumors with, you know, was it Year of Zelda or the anniversary a year or two ago? Like maybe they were just saying, let's just save them for Switch 2 launch. Maybe that'll be like the Wind Waker.
I'll be so disappointed if they do that. If it's like another load of remakes of like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, is like that's disappointing. I think.
Yeah, it would be massively disappointing.
Yeah.
It would be. I'm interested. I'm fascinated to see what.
Yeah,
launches on
I
the console.
cannot wait. I said to you earlier, but I hope to God like the reveal is in the evening where we can do a talk serve. If it's like a 2 o'clock in the afternoon thing, I'm like, bloody hell, we're working. I want to be there watching it. Oh, maybe we'll say okay, none of us go on the internet. We're going to hold it and watch it again later on together. But yeah, hopefully it's an evening thing.
Right then, there are our predictions. Should we do what you've been playing this week?
Yeah.
There's a ton of games in front of us. We will go through them relatively quickly because we still have our a surprise competition that we're taking part in this year that we haven't really spoken about on the show. So we'll get to that after what you've been playing, and then hopefully a couple of your questions. But I would like to start where last year finished, because Sean and Matt, you've both been playing Balatro.
Yep.
Yeah, little game I heard about on the Game of the Year episodes. And
Can I just say, it's been fucking amazing seeing so many of our listeners say, I gave it a go and now it's like, I cannot stop. You know, I think a lot of our listeners played Balatro and they were in supportive of it being our Game of the Year. But there was a lot of people that hadn't and decided to based off it being our Game of the Year. And I've not seen many people saying, yeah, I tried it and couldn't get into it. I've not seen much of that at all, really. It's all been fucking hell. This is all I've done all Christmas. There's been people in the Discord saying I've had to delete it off my phone because it's getting
Which is
too
quite
much.
extreme. I don't think, I
Yes.
think we have had some listeners sort of saying like, oh, you're just making it sound like it's addictive in like a not necessarily healthy way. I don't think that's the case.
We had one that said, why don't you give pornography film of the year or something because it gives you a bonus. I didn't quite get that.
No, I don't quite
but
understand.
Thanks for the email.
But yeah, no, it's not addictive in the way that like a match 3 puzzler is or something like and it sends you notifications every 2 minutes saying your energy's recharged, come and have another go. Like it's nothing like that. And we also have people being weird about it being quote a mobile game, which what?
Yeah, that was bizarre, wasn't it? Especially when
really
it was available on consoles before mobile. Like,
yeah, and even if it
really
was a
odd.
mobile game, that's not
Who gives
inherently
a
a bad thing.
Yeah, Marvel Snap was nominated, wasn't it, a couple of years ago? It was the one
Ryan's
last
in the
year.
chat saying it's a gambling game. You've clearly not played it, Ryan. Try again.
Look. Ryan's got some issues with our Game of the Year show. Let's not focus in on his comments. Balatro, Matt. So you played. Did you
Played a lot
play
more.
much of
Yeah,
it?
I have played before. Yeah, because I played on Switch. Early on. I then played it on mobile, much more. But then, yeah, it was Christmas, and I was like, well, time to properly sink my teeth into Balatro. And yeah, I played like fuckloads over like a day or so, and you got my first win. And it was amazing, like the rush you get from that, and like the nerves when you're getting towards 7th or 8th
Yeah.
boss or anti.
You start projecting your maths, don't you? You start projecting. If I do this and do that, and then
well, I'm
I
like,
can
oh,
hit
I'm hitting a
that.
ceiling already, and a couple of runs, I'm like, I think I've got this, and then I was like, no, I've already hit a ceiling of, I don't know, 16 or 20,000 for this hand. This isn't going to work with the current jokers I've got. Yeah, like on the one I was basically just constantly refining my jokers and the hands I was playing as for straights, which might be a harder way of doing it. But every time I got like a celestial cards, which was the planet cards, those were increasing, which was a Saturn card, which would increase like the score for a straight. I just kept getting them, or when there's an opportunity from maybe the tarot cards, where it's like your most favored hand, which again is the Saturn, is the straight, it's a Saturn card. Those always appear in those decks or in those packs. So I was just like every opportunity I had, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get another Saturn card. Straights are going up. I think that in my winning one, I got up to like 14 times the score for a straight. Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and yeah, but and now it makes me want to play more. Like it almost felt like getting the win. I'm sorry, James, but like getting that first win, like it really feels like the start of playing Balatro, because now I'm like looking for different strategies. And I think you said, Sean, or maybe it was you, David, who said like, that's like going for the straight tactic is quite a difficult one, because you haven't got a lot of places to go if you don't get this straight. So maybe I did it harder way, I don't know, but that's just the one that made sense at the time. But yeah, all the jokers I was discovering, and it's just it's just amazingly good fun. I haven't actually played it on my phone since. I was enjoying playing it on the Switch on TV, and it's great. And yeah, I did say on Blue Sky, but it's definitely a worthy winner for Game of the Year. It's just
that is quite. That is very different to how you left the Game of the Year show last year.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's just absolutely bloody brilliant. It's just so clever. And I really, even though I got that win, I still didn't really kind of fully understand, like, is it like metal cards and gold cards or glass cards? And then, like, you get the cards where you have, like, the little kind of stamp on them. I think at the time maybe I understood, but it feels like there's like whole other levels and layers. I didn't quite even get my head around them.
What's funny about that is that I get you, because I was like that as well, 100%. But that's laziness on your part, and it was laziness on my part, because all you do is click on the card and it tells you what that red thing does. Like it's.
I'm sure it did. But
I wasn't reading every single line and working it all out, and it wasn't until I become familiar with the game and I was getting a couple of wins and I, was getting my tactics together in my head, that I would then go and read all that stuff and go, oh right, okay, so actually that's really beneficial because of that.
What's the difference between like a glass card and a metal card and all that?
I was going to say, there's definitely a bit of a hurdle because there are some types of cards that benefit when you play them. There are some that benefit when you discard them, and there's some that benefit when they're just in your hand and you don't play or discard them.
Yeah. I had a few of them. Where so like if it's kept in your hand, you get a score multiplier, or you get extra chips, and
which is hard to get your head around, because initially you're like, well, surely every card that's in my hand, I either want to play it or I don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if I don't, I probably want to get rid of it to make way for a card that I do want to play. But it's you start getting your head around how, like, especially if you're focusing on like a smaller poker hand, it's like, well, then I can have shitloads of steel cards and then get loads of times 1.5 multipliers on my mult, etc. And it just keeps growing and growing. Like, your understanding of it just gets better and better, and it gets more and more fun usually.
And like reordering the cards, the reordering the jokers is great. So okay, well, this one is chips, so they're all the ones with chips. Those go to the left, and the multipliers after the mult after that. It's it's just bloody great. I feel like my most used button in the game is the one we get to see like the deck, so you see how many like jokers you got left, how many, or that's a bad example, but how many kings or aces. So I'm like, well, if I'm going for a straight, but there's actually only like one of them left, I shouldn't go for I shouldn't go for 9 if I want to get like 7, 8, 9, 10, because there's only one of them left. I should maybe change my straight. So
that's funny.
I was doing that loads.
I memorized that. I don't need.
Really?
That.
You're like, I've had one king, so there's 3 left.
Oh, I always have.
That's a poker. That's a poker thing. So
right, yeah.
When you plan poker, you're constantly thinking about the cards in your hand, the cards on the table, and what everyone around the table could possibly have.
Yeah.
So you're constantly thinking about what cards are out there and what cards are in your hand. So as you're playing this, you're taking note constantly of what cards you've got in your hand, which ones you've discarded, and which ones you're going for. And so yeah, I don't need to check that much actually.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so there's 3 of them, 2 of them. But yeah, and then it almost felt like sometimes like playing poker where waiting for was it the river or the flop or the river? Like, okay, there's 2 hands left. I need to have an 8 or 9 to get the straight going.
I do that a lot when if I'm aiming for flushes as well. So I might have 6 of each of 2 different suits, and then no, that would be enough. What I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have 2 flushes. Yeah,
yeah, I got 2 flushes.
I should do.
But yeah, then I'll then be like, right, hang on. So statistically, what am I most likely to pull out of what's remaining?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But no,
I would, if I was going for flushes, I would need to check
Yeah.
that, because that's one of the things that I fail to sort of keep an eye out for. I always have done, but yeah, no. And look, it's so satisfying to play. I think that's the main thing that sort of draws you in.
Yeah, it's not just about winning. It's fun. I guess it's fun to play because I was trying to get the win, but it's just
fun, putting the machine together, right, and watching it play out.
And even on ones you lose, you're like, fuck, or I got screwed over by that, or didn't quite have the hand. But I was getting better. I was understanding it more, and yeah, it's bloody brilliant. So had a lot of time to play, but I haven't played it on my phone since. Maybe that is a. Well, I don't like playing games on my phone as much because getting notifications anyway. But happy on Switch, love that.
Worthy winner, says Matt Murray. Worthy game of the year. How's that make you feel, James?
I mean, I changed, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's fine. It was a good game.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
You didn't change because you preferred Balatro. You changed because you want to go to bed.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a good game. So
well, coincidentally, that was still the correct decision, so it's fine.
Yeah, it all works out in the end. Yeah. Okay, so we all agree Balatro is definitely worthy of game of the year.
100%, yeah.
What wasn't worthy of game of the year though was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Didn't even make it to the.
It didn't.
Show map.
And I've put another 20 hours into it over the break, and I still haven't finished it. Cool. I'm still 4 chapters from the end. I think I've just got to. Oh my god, Cosmo. Cosmo, can't remember. Anyway, Cosmo Canyon, yeah. I am still playing this, but part.
You don't have to anymore. It's fine.
Well, no, it's like, am I hate playing this? Like, I think there's bits I enjoy and there's bits I do not enjoy, which is upsetting because I fucking love Remake so much. Everything about Remake I loved, and this is like there's so much to it, and there's also kind of I will finish it, but feels like there's only been a little bit of story now in the last chapter really, and I'm just started chapter 10. But I still
the biggest problem with that game,
remake had loads of story. This feels like it has hardly any.
It had some great moments, and then it had a load of shit in there that the whole intro to Remake was fucking fantastic. The whole thing where it explodes and then you see the devastation you've caused, and it sort of load of real, but then it starts sprinkling. Oh, there are ghost children, and it was like, I don't want to. Oh, try and find the people around this village. Go, there are 8 of them, and I'm like. That was the problem with that game. I totally lost interest because I didn't think the writing was particularly any good, and I thought the interesting parts of that story was sidelined for some terrible parts of that story towards in the latter third especially. So I think you're finally realizing why.
but there's some, I'm still playing it. There's something still compelling about it. I still think the combat is brilliant. I'm eager for more story, even if there hasn't been as much of it. I'm still interested in what they do, how the story will potentially differ from the actual main game. And so I'm gonna get finished. I think I'm 4 chapters from the end, so I've put another 20 odd hours in over the break, and it's all I'm really playing at the moment, or probably all I will play until a new game comes out. But it's a weird one. I think even by the end, unless it does something staggering, it wouldn't have hit my kind of top 5 of the year. I don't think, which is a shame because again I love Remake so bloody much. But hey, I'm still gonna finish this, and I'll still play whatever the next one is, which I assume will be called Reunion, but nothing's been confirmed. But it feels like it's nailed on for that. I still think it looks gorgeous as well. But anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Okay, James.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a similar situation with Mario and Luigi Brothership. which I by the end hate played.
It feels like you've spoken about this game for 7 years straight.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say much more about this, but I absolutely hated this by the end. And I mean, I've never played a game with so much like unnecessary padding like as this one. And it was the whole thing where it's like you go to a new area, and that should give you some sort of wonder, sort of surprise or whatever. Nah, it's just the same stuff over and over and over again, like really drawn out and like terrible writing. It was just so much tedium, and I only finished it because I'd already put 30 hours into it, and I was just like, I've got to see the end of this now. I'm just annoyed. I've got to see the end of it.
It's too fucking long these days, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Unless you're a
you can
persona
justify
or
it,
whatever, like, and you've got a big fucking grand story to tell.
Yeah.
Wrap it up within 20 hours.
Exactly.
Please. Like,
And this took me, I think it was 42 hours. It was this game, and it had nothing to say either. Like with this, it was just miserable. I didn't enjoy it. But then after I'd finished that, I started playing. It's Kena, isn't it? Bridge of Spirits. Like
Kenna.
Kenna.
is it Kenna or
Yeah,
Kena? I
yeah.
can't remember because it's
Yeah, I think it's Kenna.
okay. So I played this over Christmas as well, and it was just after playing Mario and Luigi. It was so nice because it was just.
I knew you'd love this game. I remember playing this a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, and just going, "Oh, James would love this. This would be right up his street." It's nothing spectacular. It's not something that I'd recommend that everyone go out and play immediately. But if you just want to play a nice, frictionless, easy game with beautiful visuals and some decent story and some interesting gameplay mechanics, then it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's short, functional, and fun. It's like it's a 7 out of 10. Like it's a total 7 out of 10 game. But in
That's what I say about.
Oh, that's
Great. And then so after I'd done that, fuck off. After I'd done that, I played Like a Dragon Ishin because that was the last one of the Like a Dragon series that I've not played, and it's the one which is set in like Japan just before like the Meiji Restoration. And it's based off the PS3 version as well, so this is very apparent from the mission structure and like the combat upgrade cycles and stuff. That stuff is not great, not really very interesting, and they play very loose with all like the historical characters who are all using like the characters from the other Yakuza games, but then like they obviously use them as like to play as historical characters instead. And it does work. It does work. It's just as compared with say like the other Like a Dragon games that I played recently, like I had no interest in like the side stories or anything like that. They were just not very interesting, and I think that's because this was the structure that was the same as like for the PS3 version. I don't think they'd really nailed it. By this point, wasn't really terribly interesting. I mean, they also had all like these mini games like farming, house expansions, and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm just not digging this. But I was glad I played it because the main story was pretty good and very, very nationalist by the end of the game. And I can see why this came out like only in Japan for like a while, and they probably thought, I don't know if this translates because
they didn't localize it for a long time, did they?
No, and I think it came out on PS4. This version on PS5, and it's given me hope for the newly announced like 20th century game that they're working on, which is another like historical piece, it seems. So
what's Like a Dragon mean then now?
Well, they renamed the series because it's not called Yakuza anymore because it was always called Like a Dragon in Japan.
I was going to say, yeah.
And then it was called Yakuza in the West, and then it was with the 7th one where they changed the names round, so they just said it's like a Dragon Yakuza, and it was like that was the point at which they were like, okay.
Well, what's the reasoning for this? Why is it just kind of like a Biohazard Resident Evil thing, or?
I think so, yeah. And I think they just wanted to harmonise the names, so it was the same everywhere.
Yakuza will have a bigger pool in the West, and I guess.
Yeah, maybe. But I think, the Like a Dragon stuff has been very, very popular and very, very successful. So, with the Ichiban stuff and all that. So, yeah, I think it's probably worked out.
Ichiban is who? Oh, right, okay, look, I need to explain. I've been playing Yakuza 0. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I don't know what happened over the holiday period, but I was like...
Oh, no, Zero's not... No, it's Yakuza Kiwami that's Christmassy, isn't it, James?
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I want to play Yakuza 0 again because I want to play something where I'm just walking around a city and weird shit's happening. I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, wicked, I've got it on... It's on Game Pass. Downloaded it and realised that actually I originally played it on the PS4.
Oh,
So I was
shit,
like,
that's
oh,
not
for
good.
fuck's sake. So then I bought it. It was like 10 quid, I think, or 15 quid on PlayStation. So I just bought it. And I thought it's good. I can use my portal with it. It's not like not like a quick fire action game. I can just play on the portal when I. And it made it so hard for me because when you launch the game, for some reason, I was getting the weirdest menu items that I've never seen in a video game before. I had to take a photo of it. I was going to ask you about it, James, but I didn't want to spoil the surprise. I got a screenshot of one of the characters, and underneath it just said, downloading data set 14. And that would take 5 minutes, and then it would say download data set 16. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I don't remember that.
45 minutes of doing that.
Wow. I don't remember that.
And
I mean, I played the version then I played was like the PS4 version that was on disc, and I don't remember that having download stuff like that. That's weird. But yeah,
I'm not here to retread old ground, right? I'm not here to shit on the game because I don't want to upset James. Although after the predictions, maybe I should. I am enjoying playing it for the moment. I think my criticisms of it, are still valid, but I do have a number of questions about the series for you, James. So I wanted to bring them up on the show. Like my criticisms of, for example, I loaded it up straight away, and the first thing I did was walk around a corner, and suddenly I'm chatting to there's a female character in it, and she was going, "Oh, can you pretend to be my boyfriend, please? Because my father's trying to hook me up with an arranged marriage, and I want to introduce you." And then I sat in a cafe, and suddenly I'm her boyfriend, and I'm doing this. And then the next thing, I walk around the corner, and I'm trying to get into a cult to try and save this woman's daughter from this cult, and I'm going. But at the same time, all this stuff sounds fun, but it isn't because I'm just pressing X.
Yeah.
And there's a load of memory games. Like, the memory games are really fucking annoying, where it's like,
I remember those, ironically.
What symbol do we do? I'm going to test you on the cult. What symbol do you do when you are greeting the... What do we call our prayer? And it's like why are all these memory games? Like,
What I would recommend you do, David, is I would recommend you ignore most of the side story stuff and just play the main story, because
this sort of leads me to this point. So, there was one question I was asked in the cult: what do we do with our hands or something when we greet another member of the cult or whatever? And one of them was like, put your hands above your heads and turn them palm towards your face and raise them or something like that. Another one was clasp your hands together and do a semicircle and bring your hands back together, which was the answer. And then the other one was like something like do the cha-cha-cha. And I was like, I want to do the cha-cha-cha, but at the same time, I don't want to fail at the game.
But no, you can still do that.
I don't care about failing at the game. I can just fuck around. And
just do whatever you want. Yeah, you don't. It doesn't matter if you fail that stuff.
That's what Nader Ben points out, is do the hustle. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, then if that's the case...
The only benefit you get from that is maybe you get better equipment or gear or whatever from that. But if you don't care, it doesn't matter. You can...
No, I just want to be funny with it.
And sometimes the fail state's way funnier than being successful in those things. It's much better. But
there's no major setback to being an idiot throughout that game, because I might just play it like that then. Cause
none at all.
I was thinking, so we got it all right, and they went, "Well done, you got it all right. That's the end of the mission."
Yeah.
And I was like, why did I do that then? Whereas if I could go in and just fuck around,
yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Because the tone does jump around a lot.
Yeah,
and I do think it does that quite well. But then, as you say, when you're being asked for input into that, it's like, am I supposed to be enjoying the tone jumping around, or am I supposed to continue to play the straight man in funny situations? Because that can be funny as well.
Yeah,
but also, I see what you mean.
But also, the other thing with that is that because with Zero, you're playing as two different protagonists as well. The way it's shifting
Goro
between it. And you can play it differently with that as well, because they're very different. In their sort of the way that they approach everything. Yeah, it's. But I would definitely recommend playing for the story as well, because that's the that's what hooked me with that. With that, I mean, there are the ridiculously long cutscenes and stuff like that. That does happen, but it's an interesting story they're trying to tell as well.
Yeah,
which
there's a bit where Goro's been asked to kill someone, and I thought, oh, this bit is so much better than the fucking shit where I'm just walking up to people and they're going, "Hey, I need you to get me a thing from the arcade."
Yeah,
and you go and get it, and then you come back and go, "That was a waste of time."
but this is why I had a better time with Ishin as well, because I just kind of ignored a lot of that and ended up just mainlining the story, which was much more interesting.
Because I loved the fact that with Zero, which was my introduction to the series and to Yakuza stories in general, right? Like whether film, real life, whatever. And I love the fact that it's like this the thing that all these gangs are fighting over is like the deed to this little plot of land because they want to pass it up and
it's
sell
all
it for
about
this big urban development. And wasn't there's that really good article, isn't there, James, where they showed it to some actual real life Yakuza and they were like, this could have been, this is basically happened, like this sort of thing goes on, like, or used to.
So there's that, and there's also, so I'm quite looking forward to the reason, I guess, in the back of my head, I knew that this pirate one's coming out. Although, to be in fairness, I was like, I'm going to watch some gameplay footage of this pirate one, and it just looked like an excuse to use the beach level from the last Like a Dragon game.
I'm a bit wary about that game actually, because, and the reason being is because
nominating it.
It looks very wacky, and it's like
very wacky, doesn't it?
And it's like, that's fine, but I don't know. You see, that's what I felt that they did really well with Ichiban in the most recent games, whereby there's a wackiness there, but also a serious side. But Goro is like, there is like a serious side to him as well, which is this murderous sort of serious side. But I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out.
Anyway, I sort of want to play it. I'm hoping that they ditch some of the old school gaming things that you see in Yakuza 0. I hate the money guy that chases you around the city. I hate that. I think that is
really annoying.
That's something that did improve later, where there was a lot less like random battle stuff, because again, it's this big problem that a lot of these games have, you know, where they're trying to bring in this sort of like, you know, the experience points and like, you know, leveling up your character and stuff, and it's like, how do you do that? And it's like they just came up with the idea of, okay, we just have loads of fights, and that's how it's going to do it. Whereas, you know, it's the same as with like turn-based, you know, games where they, you know, you have the grind. It's the same as the grind.
I hate the same save system, but I believe that's already gone.
Yeah, that's gone.
Good.
Yeah,
also, I really dislike the health system. The fact that every time, if I get into like 8 scraps in a row, I've been hit like 3 times, but I've got half my health. So I'm like, right, go to a restaurant, loading screen into the fucking restaurant, go up to the thing, he talks, go through the dialogue, pick the food, cutscene, walk out, loading screen to get back outside, all that shit.
See, that's all gone. Like, it's not like that now, like with a lot of the others. But
it's kind of a shame, isn't it? Because in some ways, I'm weirdly supportive of like an unnecessarily involved here's you going to a restaurant sequence, but not when it's like a required gameplay thing.
Yeah,
you know, like I said about
totally.
what I said about like Cyberpunk. Like one of the things I still don't like about that is like I want to go to like street food stalls and sit on a stool and be like, right, I want that. And do you know what I mean?
You know
but
what,
they didn't do any of that.
You know what it's like? It's like in Animal Crossing when you go to like the cafe in the museum, and it's like you're just buying some coffee, but it's such a it's like, you know, it takes time
to it,
because exactly they're depicting like a ritual, and that's like. You get a lot of that as well. Like, I think a lot of Japanese games do this. Like, they really care about like this sort of like attention to detail, trying to like show. Sure. But then also, it can be tedious as well. Like,
but Red Dead Redemption 2 had that. But Red Dead Redemption 2, it felt so much more natural that you were, you know, there was a lot of complaints about, oh, you have to walk at snail's pace through the thing. But as you're doing that, there are characters around saying, hey, you know, and you're getting that feeling of the camp, or 2 people are arguing over there. Whereas this, because it's so stale, it's kind of just like, it's just a monotonous thing that I need to do that I'm getting nothing out of. But again, this is an old game, right? This is an old game. So, like...
At this point, I mean, the other thing that's really interesting about it is that I mean, you're never going to play like all of the games in this series because there's too many. It's ridiculous. There's too many of them. But it is interesting to see like those areas like from different eras. Like Yakuza 0 is like very much like the boom time like in Japan, like in terms of there's money everywhere. There's the whole thing, and then later on you see the whole thing like the wheels coming off the economy, and it's quite interesting to see how that works out.
I had a conversation with John Denton about this. I was going to read it out, but I think that's probably I'm not allowed to do that. But we were talking about Yakuza, and he said that he got like 3/4 of the way through Yakuza 0 and then jacked it in because, like he said, it sort of forces you to do a mini, like a business running mini game to progress. And
but
I just don't want
that's
to do
bullshit because you can.
Oh,
He's wrong because I mean, they show you how to do that as like part of it, but you don't have to do it. You could just be like, okay, here's the. They're like, here's the instructions. Here's how to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you can do it.
I quite surprisingly got absolutely hooked on it.
So he turned around and I said, look, I said I'm quite interested in playing the pirate one, right? Because it just looks like fun. There's not too much coming out the first part of the year, so actually it'd be something to look forward to.
Mate, it's like the week before Monster Hunter.
Well, like February is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Monster. I'm not into Monster Hunter, am I?
Oh, you'll be into this one. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So he said, but what? You're just going to jump straight to that one? I went, no, John. I'm going to play the other 14 games that each have 60-hour play time before I get to that. Not going to happen, is it? So I might just jump straight to the pirate one.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. So do I.
But also, don't be too bothered about just like mainlining some of these because you can do them in like 20 hours or whatever. They're not like.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to experience it.
Yeah, sure, you can totally do that.
I love the idea of Yakuza, but then I sit down and play it, and I'm like, this is shit. This is shit. And I'm not there with this yet, but I know I will be. All the little niggles, no game's perfect. Every game's got bad stuff about it. It's whether you can overlook that stuff or not. And in, say, Spider-Man, I can overlook the negative side of Spider-Man. Whereas Yakuza, there's stuff that just pushes the wrong buttons for me. However, I have enjoyed it over the past week, just sitting back and getting lost in it a little bit. I still think there's a lot of issues there, but we don't need to go over them again.
But you are going to get this one done, you reckon?
Depends. Right?
Yeah.
Sean, what have you been playing?
Quite a lot. I'll be as quick as I can. So carried on playing Earth Defense Force.
2 of them are EDFs, though.
No, the EDF 5 is just a lead into EDF 6, really. So, carried on playing EDF 5 with Isaac, having a really good time. I then realised 2 things. 1, the Steam Christmas sale wasn't going to last forever. And 2, there's over 100, I think it's like 110 missions in EDF 5, and I was maybe halfway through after 25 hours. So I was like, do you know what? I think I'm just going to buy EDF 6 and play that instead. So I did. And surprise, I really like it. What I am really impressed by, and I'm not going to... There's a very interesting story in it, which, my expectations... I love the EDF games, but my expectations in terms of narrative are basically nothing at all. I hope the men say some funny things during the missions, and that's kind of it. So for anyone who hasn't played it, I'm not going to spoil. There's a fucking massive plot twist in EDF 6. I think I'd sort of vaguely read about, but I didn't know sort of how it happened, and the way it does it is really cool. But what is really fascinating is the way EDF 6 starts. Because the EDF games have always, because there's been tons of them. I mean, this is EDF 6, but there's been little spin-offs and different versions and stuff. And they basically they'll do a couple of EDF games where they're like, oh yeah, there was, the aliens invaded once, and then we fought them off, and then that was fine. And then 5 years later they came back, and then we fought them again, and then it was fine again. And then they'll sort of, after a couple of those, they'll go, right, it's a new timeline now. It's new Earth, new aliens. Don't worry about it. But with EDF 6 starts off with EDF 5, the aliens invaded, and we managed to defeat them, and then they left Earth. And then if you start EDF 6 and you're in this underground base, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, there's still like stragglers, like, you know, yeah, like still some aliens hanging around, still some giant ants and stuff. So we're still, you know, still dealing with problems. And they're like, all right, okay. And then you go to the surface, and it's just clear that Earth is fucked. Like, it's been 3 years since EDF5, and Earth has not recovered. Like, we won, but Earth has not recovered whatsoever. But like, your commanding officer is in complete denial about it. So you're going around fighting these aliens, and he's just like, like, so glad we're making this, you know, this city safe for civilians. And you're like, it's just wreckage everywhere. And like, if you accidentally blow up a building, he'll be like, oh, watch out for civilian casualties. And then your squad mates will be like, no civilians sighted, sir. Like, they're all clearly like, this is fucked. Like, there's no one here. We're the only people left. And like, there's like a few missions in, it's like, oh, we're going to get help from like the mobile armored suits, like the mechs basically, right? And you're like, oh shit, I can't wait to see these. And they've all just been welded to like flatbed trucks, and they just sort of get wheeled in because they can't repair them properly or maintain them. And you're just like, man, this is weird. And then, yeah, basically, and then after a bit, it does something really fucking interesting, and I'm having a fantastic time with it. Minecraft. You heard of Minecraft?
I have heard Minecraft.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
It is. So. It is really good.
Charlie got it on Switch over the weekend, which apparently is an absolute fucking mess.
Oh, it's dreadful.
He doesn't care.
Well,
yeah.
So Isaac was going on about he's played Minecraft before, and he really likes it. Likes watching videos about it and stuff. But he was like, "Oh, can we play Minecraft together?" And I thought, do you know what? Yeah, it would be really fun, like over Christmas, to make a realm. So we've got our own server, and then like I'll play on the Xbox, he plays on the Switch, and we can just join and leave as we want and build stuff, and that'll be really nice. Fucking trying to sort out his Xbox account.
Yeah, I went over this.
Stuff is
I went over Fidelity, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, we talked about this before. I know, like, Dave, you've said as far as Nintendo or Xbox are concerned, all your kids are 18.
Yeah,
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I'm going to be honest, because I think I'm probably going to need the parental controls and stuff. I'll find that really useful. So I set Isaac's... So obviously, he's already got a Nintendo account of his own. And so I'm now making his Xbox One, linking them together so we can play together on the thing. Fuck my life. Honestly, one of the most stressful things I've ever done, I think.
I've been right there, Sean. I've done that like with the kids and it's like
it's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, and you spend so much time thinking, why is this so complicated?
Yeah.
Like the way that this is presented.
Yeah.
It's
like I won't bore the listeners with every single step. Suffice to say, it took fucking ages. And then I had this final hurdle where I was trying to add Isaac as a friend, but then he couldn't accept the friend request without my approval, but I could not for the fucking life of me find out where I was supposed to approve this friend request. I got it sorted in the end, but oh my god, it was awful. And, and obviously the entire time Isaac's like, is it done yet? Is it like, and he's being nice about it. He's he's just excited. He's like, oh, is it sorted yet? Is it sorted? I'm like, no, just please, I need silence because I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious.
Once it's set up, it's great. Because you've got so many options. So my kids aren't 18.
Okay.
Sean, actually, they are older than they are. They're like 14, I think I've set them to. Okay. In fact, actually, I haven't set up Charlie's Xbox account because it's such a pain in the arse. He's got a PlayStation account because that's pretty straightforward. He's got a Nintendo account that's pretty straightforward. I know he's hijacked his brother's Nintendo account, actually. That's quite funny. But that's all, pretty straightforward. It's the initial setting up of that Xbox account and linking it to yours that's the problem. But once it's there, it's really fucking good. Like that family Xbox family
family
really
account.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Like it's been an amazing experience. Like just having, a server together that like it's in survival mode, but it's on peaceful, so there's no monsters. So we'll go mining together and then be like, right, we've got loads of stuff. Let's go back to the surface and build new shit. And like it's been amazing. Like, and it's been really fun. Obviously, not necessarily playing at the same time. And like I'll join the server and he's been on it early in the morning. He's built some new stuff and then I'll build stuff late at night and he'll discover it in the morning. And it's been really, really nice. But yeah, that whole account situation unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
mean,
yeah,
that and
Minecraft's good.
Nintendo. I think Sony are the best because I think they care less. You can quite
No, but
easily
this is the
set up
thing.
an
Was like
account.
it's not even I understand trying to protect children, obviously, but it's the fact that like the settings I needed were in like a special secret settings page that you can only find by like searching for an FAQ and then be like, oh, you need this. It's like, oh right, so not any settings I can just view in the family app or my Xbox. Like it's like a special secret
Yeah,
fucking
Microsoft
page.
I
are
remember
surprisingly
that.
shit at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's weird about that is I had over the Christmas break, I literally need to log in. She logged out of Minecraft and I log back in. And that particular page you're talking about, Sean, it's also like hasn't got the current styling of the website. It almost looks like it's an unstyled page. It's
all
like
plain
this
and
is legit,
weird.
isn't it? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
So
it's like
strange.
Netscape Navigator style. It's like what? This is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Because I had to like approve something. No.
What else? So played the beta of Descenders next.
Oh, nice.
Because we just randomly got sent a code for it. It's Mike Rose. I don't think he listens, but I really appreciate his sort of PR strategy of just going, "Here's a code you didn't ask for. Do whatever you want."
Yeah,
with
he's
it."
always been great at that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we talked about the original Descenders a long time ago. I wasn't as keen on it, but I really like this one. It's really good fun.
Because you got a free code, is it?
Yeah, been bought off, mate.
So this is a snowboarding one,
This is
right?
the snowboarding one,
Yeah.
and it's the structure is similar to the last one, but it's less roguelitey. So now it's like here's a map, and this big mountain, and there's on that map there'll be points that are like actual snowboarding like parks, and then there'll be shops where you can buy new shit and stuff like that. But to make your way to them, you have to hit like a certain number of other points on the map to get there. So you've got to like survive, 3, 4, 5 like randomly generated stages before you can get to like one of these checkpoints, and without falling off too many times. So very similar to the original Descenders, but in this one it feels like you are sort of permanently progressing across this map and like unlocking new points on the map, and it's really enjoying it. It's a much lighter touch in terms of like being a snowboarding sim. Like it's not the same as Shredders, which is really good, but also very hard. And if you're actually really into snowboarding, I gather is like a really good simulation. This is a bit more Tony Hawk's, but it's still quite still a bit.
But not SSX.
Because Descenders, I loved it. I mean, I did try that. Was it Lonely Mountains Downhill? But this felt more like the feeling of like being in air and going off ramps. It felt almost not quite, but it felt more Trials like than I was imagining first. It just felt good to like flip your bike off, and the feeling of you flipping around. It just felt awesome. So does this also feel that good when you're on the board? And
yes, yeah,
yes,
so.
okay,
yeah. Feels great, really good fun.
What you played, does it include the kind of the downhill mountain longboarding as well? Or is it just the snowboarding?
I think it's just snowboarding in the beta so far, but it's out quite soon, isn't it?
It just says coming soon on the Steam page, so no date yet.
So yeah, been enjoying that.
I need to try that.
The last one I'll talk about, Detective Pikachu Returns. So I got this for Isaac for Christmas, so I've only myself to blame. No, right. I'm we've talked before about like really enjoyed playing this game with my kid. It was a good game, but I enjoyed it more because I played it with my kid. This is very much I am only enjoying this because I'm playing it with Isaac, and
right.
It's just really
so Detective Pikachu was a 3DS game originally, was
3DS
it?
game originally,
and it was like a really weird concept, but people liked it, right?
Enough that they made a film of it, and the film's pretty good, right?
I liked it.
Good laugh. And then there's a sequel for the Switch, and it's so you're this guy who's got a Pikachu that can talk. Only you can understand him, and you are solving crimes. It's just not satisfying. You don't solve anything yourself. You just listen to dialogue, and then it's like, okay, I think we have enough clues now. Well, how do we think this happened? Oh, you picked the wrong answer. Maybe it's one of the other two answers. And it's for kids, but also think a lot of kids would find it not particularly satisfying.
Right.
Like Isaac's not really engaging with it as a mystery. Like he wants to know what happened, but he's
not detectiving.
Yeah, like it's so spoon-fed. I just don't know if it works. There's no satisfaction in solving it. Like he likes Pokemon enough that he's enjoying being in a world with Pokemon, and like I say, and we're sort of taking it in turns to like read out dialogue and coming up with stupid voices with the characters and stuff, and just like we're making feels like we're making our own fun basically. And there'll just be sections where it's like, all these apples have fallen over, and some of them are Pokemon because there's a Pokemon looks like a little apple, and it's like click and find all the ones that are Pokemon. But then there's one that only appears once you've found the other two, and then you've clicked on something that obviously isn't a Pokemon to make another crate full. And just, or they'll be like, oh, we can't do this bit because there's a Pokemon standing in the way. And it's like, you could clearly walk around it. Stop being sick. Or like, it'll set up a crime and then it'll be like, and you straight away be like, okay, well, there's this one Pokemon we need to talk to because they're clearly going to know what happened. And then you go to talk to them and they're like, oh, it says it doesn't really want to talk right now. We should come back later. It's like, fuck off. That's just shit. It's just...
Yeah, especially for a kid's game.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Go on.
How serious are the crimes?
Not very.
Mad.
It's mostly just like, jewel theft and stuff like that. No murders.
There's no... This Pokemon's murdered 18 per Pokemon and leaves a calling card at every crime scene. There's like bits of Pokemon.
Is there like
down the rules?
Financial fraud?
It's just white collar.
Yeah.
Pikachu's just like, we got to go through these accounts. We can't.
You walk into a shop and there's a Pokemon walking out with like a bottle of vodka down his. You're like, whoa.
No, nothing like that.
Has Isaac tried Pokemon Snap yet? The Switch one.
Well, we had it, and then he fucking lost the cartridge. So,
Oh dear. Yeah.
I mean, he
that
was a lot
happens.
younger, but I don't think he would lose the Switch cartridge now. But
No, but
do-
he's got to.
I do
got to learn his
occasionally-
lesson, hasn't he?
Well, I
Yeah.
still do occasionally use it as an example if I see him being a bit careless with Switch stuff. I'm like, remember we used to have Pokemon Snap?
Well, when people were licking cartridges, maybe he just went next step and
That's true,
ate
yeah,
the
it's all
cartridge.
way. Yeah.
So yeah,
You know,
they do say it's horrible.
Just before we move on, Charlie's been asking for a Switch game
Oh, yeah.
ever since Christmas. He's desperate to get, and it's so specific and so hard to get that it's killing me. And I know it's not very good. He wants Mario Kart Live, the Luigi edition.
What?
So
What does
if
that mean?
anyone out there knows where I can get at a reasonable price Mario Kart Live, the Luigi edition, please let me know, because
That's
I'm
the
not
AR
paying
thing, right?
£150. Yeah, that's the one with the camera on the head.
It's
Yeah.
not even that good.
I know,
it's
but
not.
he's 6, Sean.
Yeah.
He's 6,
Yeah,
and
no,
also
no.
I'm a little bit scared of him. So,
Oh, you can't break anything with that thing. It goes so slow.
no, I'm scared of him if he doesn't get it. What
Oh,
is
I
he
see,
going
he's
to
gonna
do?
beat
Like,
the
I'm
shit
going
out
to
of
wake up one night and he's going to have a knife over me. He's
Yeah, so it's £100 on their website.
yeah, it's too much.
But yeah, okay, so it's not hard to get hold of. It's just hard to get hold of
Is
second
it
hand.
available? It's available.
Yeah, it's available
On
right
the
now on the Nintendo
Switch
website. Nintendo.co.uk. I just searched
Oh,
Mario
fair
Kart
play.
Live.
I didn't know that. Well, I'm not buying it, so maybe it is possible.
Yeah,
not
add to
my
cart right
money.
now.
All right, I'll do that then.
Really hard to
Cheers,
get hold
Matt.
of. Really hard.
I
Or
honestly didn't know it was
60 quid
available
on
their
eBay
website.
used. Depends
No,
if you
you
want.
do not buy these things on eBay ever. For starters, it's cardboard.
Cardboard.
So there's a lot of cardboard. I'm not getting it from eBay at all. Secondhand is off. I don't want secondhand unless I can be guaranteed that it's in very, very good condition. And you
So yeah,
cannot get that
100 quid on the
150 on
Nintendo
Amazon.
website. Well, it's out of stock on
150.
Amazon, but it's 100 quid brand new on the website. Nintendo.
Okay. I will tell him that tomorrow. Whether Joe will let him buy it for 100
Get
quid or
saving.
not, I don't know. Well, you got a load of Christmas money. Don't your kids end up with like excess Christmas money after Christmas? It's
Yeah,
horrible.
she got a bit. Yeah.
I didn't
You
get
got more
any
than me.
money this year. We got loads of nice stuff, obviously, but
All
Sounds
right.
horrible.
Is that what we've been playing?
that is it for what we've been playing. I think.
Right. No questions this week. We are running long.
Yeah.
However, we do have an announcement of something that we're going to be running throughout the year. This is Sean's baby. He set it all up. I disagree with certain aspects of it.
Well, so do I, it turns out. But
Really? Oh, go on then. Right, let's go for it. What are we doing this year, Sean?
So between the four, so this is inspired by Mark from the community, who last year and now this year he ran or has run a TCGS listeners like fantasy critic league. So I've set up one for the four of us because I think it'll be a fun thing that basically we just kind of set it up. And then it'll be fun to check in throughout the year, and then obviously at the end there will be a winner, and yeah, I think it'll be fun, right?
Is it 100 quid for the winner?
Nah, it's nothing.
Oh.
We don't win anything on this show.
Well, let's start now.
Hey, wait.
Let's put 50 quid in each.
You got a trophy out of it, Sean. You got a
That's true, I did
trophy.
get a trophy out of it.
That
It's
is a
done-
good
it's done
point,
in the
yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, the way it works is we're each running like a fictional publisher. We choose a bunch of games that we think are going to do well throughout the year, and then we pick 2 counter picks that we either think are going to be bad or they're not going to come out.
But they've got to be picks that other people have made,
Yeah.
right?
So it starts out, we've done 6 draft picks each. So we've done the draft. That's what we're doing. We'll go through that in a minute. We then have 4 pickup choices, which means throughout the year we have a budget of $100, and we can use that to bid on extra games as the year goes. So yeah, draft's already chosen. Pickups we had later in the year. The counter picks have already been chosen. Going to go through those in a minute. And then yeah, during the year you can drop one game that is still, as far as we know, coming out this year. If a game if it gets announced that something's been delayed and it's out of this year, then you can drop it unless someone else has counterpicked it. If you pick something that isn't coming out this year and someone else has already counterpicked it, it's locked in and you're going to lose some points and they're going to gain some. So we've done the initial draft. I don't think anyone's done any pickups yet, right? Because
No,
I don't think you could do that yet. Can you? Can you
not?
that?
I thought you could do them pretty.
It says here bids were revealed in 3 days, but
yeah,
no, I haven't
so
done
you
that
can
yet.
start bidding on stuff, but we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, let's not do that until we all fully wrap our head around it.
Yeah,
If we're going to
yeah.
do it, let's do it on the show.
So,
but can we start with our publisher names? Because
yes,
that
so
was...
we've got
I
Farley Point
panicked.
Interactive.
Well, yeah, we've got... James, what's your thought process behind that?
I was trying to go for something that sounded like Far Point or something, but then I was but then I was using my own name, so I thought, yeah, Farley Point Interactive.
Yeah, that annoyed me because I was going to go with Matterperna Interactive, and then when I saw the Interactive, I was like, well, I can't do that. So
I see, because... Right, okay, so what did you go with, Matt?
I went for Electronic Farts.
Now,
So it's a classic.
what Matt doesn't know is that in the Listeners League, someone else has already chosen that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, Matt.
Well, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, I just thought of, you know.
Sean, what was
Whoever it
yours?
is, they're clearly brilliant.
Mine is Flobbledob Software and Sons.
Which is brilliant.
Named
At the
after
moment, I
best,
thought it's great.
best
I
indie
sat
series.
there for ages thinking, Dave, does Dave work as a replacement for games? No, it doesn't at all. There's turns. What is the name of that developer? Turn 17 or Turn 10.
10. Yeah.
Team 17 or
Turner 10 doesn't really work.
Turn 10?
And then I panicked and just named myself Big Sammy Holdings. So that is my published name. Sorry, Sam. We are going global, baby.
So yeah, I'll run through what we've drafted, and then I'll talk about the counter picks afterwards. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, Jane, obviously, what's interesting about this is it doesn't necessarily need to mirror. Part of me was like, oh, it'll be interesting to see how this compares to like our Game of the Year picks. But actually, there doesn't necessarily need to be any correlation between the two, because you could quite cynically pick a load of stuff that you don't even like, but you think it'll review well,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
So James has gone for Grand Theft Auto 6, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, unannounced mainline 3D Mario.
Can I say that's a
platformer.
risky one? I think.
Well, yeah, because he's
James.
done
Well,
that,
what-
and then
which
he's
one,
done
Metroid?
and he's done
Metroid
unannounced
Prime.
Mario Kart next mainline console.
I know I've got
game.
3 unannounced well, okay, 2 unannounced games and one.
No, I
that's
think
probably
those
coming
2
out.
unannounced ones were quite shrewd. I thought. I think having 3D platformer, I think, is a good chance. Having a Mario Kart, there's a good chance. But more importantly, they will score highly.
They
Like
will
that
score.
is- I
Yeah,
thought that
it's
was a good
nailed
race.
on. Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is no one's counterpicked them, but we'll get onto that in a minute.
Right.
Judas was his sixth game.
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to come out this year, which
you
is
might be right.
yeah, but we'll see.
So for mine, Flobbledob Software and Sons, I've gone for Monster Hunter Wilds, obviously. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Atomfall, Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think this is the year, guys. Battle Vision Network, the new Capybara game, and Wander Stop, which is the new one from I always forget his fucking name. The Beginner's Guide fella.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Matt Electronic Farts has gone for Ghost of Yote, Elden Ring Night Rain, Doom the Dark Ages, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. Is it Delta? We say it.
Yeah, Delta.
Yeah, Snake Eater, The Outer Worlds 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Dave Big Sammy Holdings has gone for Split Fiction, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Fable, Citizen Sleeper 2, Football Manager 2025, and Little Nightmares 3. Now the count.
My thought process was get as many 8s as you can in there. Get as many guaranteed 8s. Football
go
Manager,
for
I
it.
think guaranteed 8.
Yeah,
I think Sid Meier's Civilization
That's an 8.
guaranteed 8.
Yeah.
Split Citizen Sleeper. I'll be amazed if that doesn't get an 8 because that is
that'll be 8s and 9s.
you know, I mean, the people that have been reviewing that know that the first game is good, so the weirdness of it won't get in its way. Little Nightmares 3, I think, is a good shout for an 8, but it might not come out this year.
Yeah, because it's a different studio as well,
Well, I was
making
gonna say,
it.
I was thinking of
It's-
going
Right.
for the one that the old devs are doing.
Yeah.
Which basically appears to be another Little Nightmares, but it's a
Right,
different
right,
name,
right.
But,
Yeah, I think
Football Manager is a
still-
bit of a risk because that's a total rebuild this year, isn't it? It was first time in
Oh, is
years.
it?
People still love it, Matt.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
They'll
I'm
love
thinking
it.
more like
It's-
review though, review
Yeah,
wise.
I think it'll do really well.
Yeah. So the count.
But the one, can I just talk about the one that I was really pissed off at? So,
Oh, yeah.
so I wanted to pick Donkey Kong Country Returns because you know, Nintendo always get an extra couple of points on their review scores, even if it's not a very good game. And it said no remakes or remasters, and I was like, okay, fine. And then the next pick was Matt, who picked Snake Eater. Come on,
Totally a remake, though.
yeah, fine, but
You know.
but I thought the essence of that idea is that you don't pick a remaster or remake because so much of it is based on an old game, and the idea is that it's a really popular game and it's done really well. So the chances of it being a hit this year is higher than a normal game, right? So I get the fact that no remasters, no remakes. I get that, but for Snake Eater to get through, come on.
No, I chose it as allowed. So I mean,
Yeah, but-
I just,
Yeah, okay.
what
Look,
James? What do you
come on.
think?
No,
Go on,
there's
James.
quite a big difference between, like, I mean, Snake Eater looks like a completely different game.
yeah,
like,
but it's still based on one of the most popular games in one of the most popular game series. I
Yeah,
think
but you could say the
as,
same for,
as an
like-
idea of putting your chips onto a bet. I think you've got an advantage of choosing a game where it's
Maybe. I mean, like, if I'm thinking, like if we were doing this last year, I would never have put Silent Hill 2 down, for example, you know, as being
Yeah.
like one of the picks, because that was a full-on remake, but the studio making it didn't have a
I
great
think
pedigree.
this is different. I think this is different. Snake Eater is seen as one of the best
Yeah, a lot of people's favorite Metal Gear game.
Metal Gear games of all time.
But I mean, yeah, I think it was just allowed. Whereas I guess like you actually couldn't physically choose Donkey Kong, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it comes
was-
up
yeah,
with a
because
tag
the
or
way-
whatever.
the way the
Look,
website
look. We've
classifies it,
referred to Sean. Sean's allowed it. I
decision, Sean.
disagree. I think it's a cheap shot, Matt. I think you've taken.
Look,
the
it was
easy one
available
out.
when I chose it. I
It
mean,
might be shit. They're doing a
Yeah, it
Metal
might-
Gear
yeah.
game without Kojima, so who
Yeah, but it
knows?
doesn't matter. It's on Snake Eater though. They're basically just going to redo that with nicer graphics. It's an easy win.
I
Okay.
think if that's
Alright,
all
well,
it
if you
is, I
wanna
don't
win
think
like
it'll
that, Matt,
score
it's
that
fine.
well.
well, I like to win the right way. I think actually, I think
Let's
the other
see.
games are pretty good. Counter picks then.
Counter picks. So James has gone for Little Nightmares 3, which I think is an interesting choice, as you say, different devs.
Okay.
And he's also gone for Silk Song, which makes sense because it might not fucking come out.
Yeah, it might not
In
come
which
out.
case, he would also get points.
It builds up to someone that you think's been an idiot with their counter picks here, and I'm worried that it's me. What is this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think so. So for my counter picks, I went for Fable. Because
Is that because you think it's more likely not to come out this year, or
Yes,
because you
I
think it won't be very good?
Yeah, I think it's because
I think that is nailed on to be an excellent game, but I think you're right. It might not come out this year.
They're going to take their time with it, yeah. And the Outer Worlds 2, because I think the first one was a bit of a lukewarm reception, and then
It's okay. It did quite well.
The sort of like the re-release of it, and apparently just made it worse.
It's better than Starfield.
Yeah, and like the trailers kind of got tongue in cheek, like the most recent trailers. Like, hey, all the things from the first one we've improved, all the things we couldn't put in the first one we've put in this. So it feels like they're no.
Yeah.
I
I'll
was
be delighted if
that was a late pick for me. I was like, because obviously, from maybe all listeners don't know, but we did this like a round robin, like in turn. Sorry, so I was like, fuck, it's my go. I don't know what to do. So the last couple of mine was like, I don't know, honestly.
I'll tell you what was interesting though. It's like no one touching Avowed. Like that was.
No, I heard the previews weren't great, were they?
Yeah. I am excited about it. I really want it to be good. But yeah, there's always part of me that's like, but Obsidian...
Sean, The Outer Worlds got an 85 on Metacritic.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was decent. It was decent. It was a good game. The problem was you played. What was it? What did you play
the Switch.
I just played Disco Elysium.
Yeah. I mean, this night and day, but The Outer Worlds still was pretty good.
But it's also, I think, there's like a whole thing with The Outer Worlds because there was that Switch version that came out that was like completely broken. I think it was like a total mess.
That didn't help. Yeah.
But the other one was fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I probably fucked up there. Never mind.
I need to be better than fine.
So Matt's counter picks: Grand Theft Auto 6. I think makes sense because it might not come out. And Judas, is that because you think it might not come out, or?
Yeah, might not come out really, and I mean the same with GTA because again, like James had the first pick, so naturally went to GTA, which I think all of us probably would have done. I mean, I definitely would have done, but I thought, well, this is a big risk, but also I'm not 100% sure if it's even going to come out, so that's why I went for that one. Yeah, Judas, haven't heard much about it. I obviously know it's from Ken Levine, Ken Levine, yeah. But yeah, I just thought might not hit this year. So
fair enough. And Dave's counter picks were Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Wasn't the first one really well received, apart from the developer being
yes.
69 on Metacritic,
was it? Okay.
I think.
Ooh.
But there was also a lot of general tone around that game and discourse that I think will have an impact on reviews for number 2. That was my thinking. It's terrible,
I should say
that
70 is par, and then if it scores on OpenCritic, if it scores less than 70, then Dave would lose.
I've just got a feeling because of everything that happened around that first game, it will have a negative impact in review scores. So I'm using social issues as a way of trying to get a point in this silly little game on this podcast. Yeah.
And then you've also gone for Metroid Prime 4.
I don't think that's coming out this year. And if it does, I think it's going to get... I don't think it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because I put it down, obviously, on my list, but then I also have feelings it's not going to come out. And because that
preview
what they showed was bad.
So shit.
It didn't look good at all.
No. So it's either going to come out in a really bad state this year and people are going to go, fucking hell, or it's just going to get delayed again because it's not ready, which I think is more likely. So that was my thinking there. Yep.
So for now, that's it. As I say, we've got these 4 pickup slots. So as the year goes on, if there's stuff we think is actually starting to look really good, we can start bidding on stuff. And then, I mean, I guess we'll probably check in on this like end of February, because then by then we'll have had Citizen Sleeper 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Civilization, Like a Dragon, and Monster Hunter Wilds. So I think that'll be an interesting...
So the website that calculates all this, Sean, does a projected... thing. How pissed off for you?
It's fine.
How pissed off for you with that?
Because I'm a maverick. So it's projected that I'm going to lose so far, based on
quite handsomely.
Which I think is based on, because it has like a
Hype meter?
It is hype, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, which I think is based on basically how many other people in other leagues or,
picked it,
across
yeah.
the website have also picked it. So I'm a maverick, and that's fine.
Outside the box.
Yep.
Matt Murray is projected to finish first with 88.5 points. James Farley's projected to finish second with 71.6 points. Me third with 67, and Sean with 63.9. So
Doesn't mean anything. It's fine.
well, it doesn't though, does it? I mean, who knows which way this is going to end up? But we'll keep an eye on it, and we will keep you informed. And we have overrun this week. I am so sorry. We have come back with a 3-hour show. But thank you so much for. Oh, do you want to do socials, Matt? Is there anything to say here?
No, not really. We no. Just find us on various places. There you go. That's the new socials of 2025.
I like it.
We're back for 2025. We are back. We hope you had a good Christmas and a happy New Year. And if you fucking didn't, we hope things pick up soon. Thank you so much for living it. We'll catch you next week, where Sean LeBode will be joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Why?
James
Who's not?
is off again.
Oh,
Again, I've been off for months. It's
you
been,
haven't been off this year, have you?
I love the fact that you went, I'm going to stay on the show
And I did.
until the end of the year. I'm not going to miss one. You did, and then you're like, right, when can I? As the soonest I can get a break. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.